I am so excited to be with y'all today. We are playing Pokemon Sword and Shield Online. We got a competitive, there's a competition online right now. But before we hop in there, we're going to go ahead and get things started with our intro. We actually have an intro video. Isn't that crazy? So we got an intro video. We got some music going to be playing in the background. Man, I am so excited for the stream updates that we've made. So without further ado, let's get started. 3, 2, 1, hit it! Folks, I am so sorry. Wow. Talk about not getting on the best start. But that's okay. You know, it happens. I will, happens to the best of us. Anyways, now we got the intro video ready to go. And so we're going to go ahead and launch that. It was that the drive that I used to capture that footage wasn't there. And so that was a little bit tricky. But now it should be good. And we should be rocking and rolling with that. So let's go ahead and get in that intro video. Hey, you can't have a stream without technical errors, right? But hey, happens to the best of us. Alright, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Of course, I forget to unmute my mic. Hey, no worries. Just getting used to this new layout, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, I hope you guys are having an awesome time so far. I am so excited to roll out this new stream layout with y'all. I even got a small little table here where I got the chat and a bottle of water because, you know, it's Arizona. It's hot. We gotta stay hydrated. Anyways, today I am so excited. We're gonna be hopping in some online battles here. There is a battle competition, so I'm gonna be battling alongside that and providing commentary. So really excited to hop in here and let's get to it. Oh, by the way, I can't hear the music that y'all are listening to, so definitely give me any feedback you guys have on it. If you like the songs, they're just like random video game music. A lot of it's like upbeat and more intense battling type music. So let me know how you guys like it. I would love to hear y'all's take. The team that I'll be working with for the Players' Cup qualifier is right below. We got Excadrill. I'm so sorry. It'll be to the right of us. We got Excadrill. We got Togekiss, Gastrodon, Indeedee, Galarian Corsola, and Tyranitar. These are Pokemon that you guys have seen before in a couple of my other teams, but I've really been enjoying them. And yeah, they've been great. So really excited to use them again in this battle. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop in here. All right, so I'm curious to see what our first match is going to be. I don't know who we're gonna be fighting with, fighting against. Alright, so we're trying to find an opponent. And we'll be fighting Karen. Oh, man. Alright, so Karen has a pretty interesting team here. We have Terrakia and Whimsicott, so we got the beat-up combination. We got Cinderace, we got Gengar, Togekiss, and Ninetales. Kind of looking into this, so I do have that fear of weather coming in, so I kind of feel like Tyranitar in the back would be helpful. Maybe not forward just yet. I also do like the idea of using my own Togekiss. I don't really see Gastrodon or Corsola being useful, except for Terrakion. But I feel like Togekiss and Excadrill will be a great lead here. And then depending on what the needs are for the team, switching out around based on that, right? So like, if I need to deal with Gengar, for instance, Indeedee would be a great lead-in. If I feel like I can knock out Ninetales and kind of deal with that way, then Tyranitar. So we're going to go with Togekiss and Excadrill with Indeedee and Tyranitar in the back and see how that works. Yeah, Gastrodon, besides dealing with Terrakion, really doesn't have much that I like that Gastrodon can do. And also, too, of like, this will be a great opportunity of, like, let's say, if he does have Whimsicott, I can knock out Whimsicott immediately. And then turn 2, I could survive at least one attack from Terrakion, and then turn 2 come at it with Iron Head. There are a lot of options I can do. So let's see what comes up against here. So you are going to see the Ninetales Whimsicott lead in. A very interesting hit here. While the opponent is going to go, I'm going to go with Togekiss and I don't feel like Excadrill is going to be helpful at this moment. I could technically switch into Tyranitar and try to knock it out that way, but that's a little bit too dangerous right now. So I feel like I want to go Max Airstream into the Whimsicott slot, and I'm going to go ahead and switch out Excadrill into Tyranitar. Idea behind this is to get some speed on my end, as well as just discourage Aurora Veil from coming up. And so immediately changing the weather away from Aurora Veil will be a great deal. So Sandstream is up and ready to go. Tyranitar is, living life. And I'm going to go ahead and Dynamax. I know it's a little bit crazy. I went for it immediately. But I feel confident that I can do a considerable amount of damage on Auto Knock It Out with the Sandstorm. Dynamax here, and I'm hopeful that we can get the speed boost going. So we are going to see the Tailwind, and I'm going to match that speed with my own Max Airstream. The Aurora Veil fails, exactly what I'm looking for, and we go with our own Max Airstream into that Whimsicott slot. Amazing damage right there. Really excited how that worked out. Whimsicott hangs on with his Focus Sash, but not a big deal. It's going to get knocked out this turn. And both Tyranitar and Togekiss get a speed boost. There goes Whimsicott down, and Ninetales will also get So, all in all, great turn for me. Togekiss does take is slower than Ninetales, that's good to know. But the opponent still doesn't know that my Tyranitar's Choice Scarf. So we can use that to our advantage, and I'm hopeful that we can do a great job with that. It does seem that the gameplay's audio is a little bit loud. I'm going to go ahead and bring that down a little bit, just a tad. There we go. Alright, so we do have the Gengar lead in. So this is interesting. I could knock out Gengar now, and I think that would be very helpful here. So I might just do that. I might just hit Gengar. I'll go for Max Airstream again on the Ninetales slot. And I'm just going to hit Crutch on Gengar. I could have gone with Max Flare, but I kind of like the Sandstorm, what it's doing right now. So I'm going to keep it up for now, but I might change it up later. So we are going to see a response with Dynamax as well, and the opponent is going to Dynamax probably their Gengar, I would imagine. But I am curious to see what this is going to do in the line. So we are going to see the Gengar Dynamax. It's the normal Gengar Dynamax. Nothing too scary here. I will be a Gengar, but I don't know what to expect from this Gengar. So we are going to see the Max Ooze, which Gengar does outspeed Tyranitar. But I survived that Max Ooze as well, which is nice. But with 2 Airstreams, I might outspeed this Gengar next turn. So that I'm really excited for. We are going to see the Blind Blizzard. Togekiss avoids it. We are going to hit it on Tyranitar. No freeze, please. Nope, no freeze. That's great. We get it with a crunch, and we're almost able to knock this bad boy out. Curse Body does disable my crunch, though. Unfortunate there. And we go for the max airstream on the Ninetales slot. So Ninetales is knocked out with that. Thank goodness, that was awesome. A critical hit on top of that, which is always helpful. And Togekiss is chugging along faster like a choo-choo. Gengar is going to take damage from the Sandstorm. I honestly feel like I don't need a... Oh, Black Sludge. Interesting choice of item there. Gengar is not really known to be that bulky. You saw how much damage that crunch did. So Sandstorm won't be enough to knock it out, unfortunately, though. It makes it that I have to target down this Gengar. And we are going to get the Terrakion at the end. I feel like knocking out the Terrakion is bigger. So I am going to go with... I don't know. I feel like regardless is going to be okay. I'm just going to go with Airstream on the Gengar just to be done with it. Because I feel like between Tyranitar, Bean Choice Scarf, Excadrill in the sand, and Indeedee, I'll be able to win this. So we're going to switch out into the Indeedee slot. Hopefully that will be enough to kind of mitigate things and make it work for us. I get the special defense buff, but it really doesn't mean much at this point. We are going to see the Max Knuckle on the Indeedee. I'm glad I switched out to preserve Tyranitar. Opponent still doesn't expect that I was doing such at this point. Terrakion gets his attack boost, though, which can be deadly. And we're going to get the Iron Head. Ooh, that was close for a knockout. Terrakion shows that it has the Life Orb, and we get the max airstream right into the Gengar slot. Great knockout from Gengar. Yeah, we're doing great here. I am curious why we didn't see the Rock Slide with Stab. That would have been a lot stronger, but I guess he was one. Able to knock out this Gengar. And I get to maximize all the turns of Dynamax here. Togekiss barely survived with just 5 HP. So I'm probably going to lose Togekiss next turn, but not a big deal. Looking great. The only downside right now is that Terrakion does have a special defense boost in the sand, but really it's pretty much a lock at this point. So Terrakion does go with the Rock Slide, definitely a smart choice here. Indeedee barely survived with 14 HP, so that attack boost did make a big difference here. That is actually really a little stronger. We do get the Life Orb Recoil and Expanding Force. I get that off it, but this is gonna hurt. Probably a knockout right here. There we go. Wow, decisive play. And really that turn one of capitalizing on making it a moot point for the opponent overall. We pretty much tied as far as speed for the most part, so at the end of the day, it didn't really make much of a difference in the long run. Togekiss actually was a lot slower than I anticipated. A couple of airstreams, like 2 airstreams went enough to outspeed the Tailwind Terrakion. But that defensive buff and being able to handle those hits well was a huge linchpin here. So great battle overall. That was awesome. So talk about an awesome first battle. Let's go for it. We got a couple more we can do. So here we are with the Mustard's theme right here. We're not actually listening to Mustard's theme though. Let me know what music you guys are listening to and if you guys are enjoying it. And we will fight Chris next. Alright, Chris, what do you got for us? So Chris actually has a very interesting team as well. We have Mienshao, Dragapult, Cinderace, Gyarados, Grimmsnarl, and Arcanine. Trying to think, I kind of like Gastrodon in this matchup. I think the one thing I do worry about is if Gyarados does have Power Whip and dealing with that. But I do like Gastrodon. I do like Corsola if I can deal with Dragapult. If I get done with Dragapult early, because Goomstars usually don't carry direct moves for the most part, I feel like I can deal with the opponent well, especially with a lot of the physical hitters. Burning them will be very great here. It would be awesome. I do like Togekiss. I kind of like Indeedee. I do actually like Indeedee. There is... Actually, it's interesting. There is no terrain control or... there's no terrain control and there's no weather control. So, honestly, I'm not... I was tempted to do Excadrill Tyranitar, but I'm a little bit worried about that as the lead. I think I'll do Excadrill Togekiss again, and then have Indeedee or Tyranitar in the back, just in case, depending on what the opponent throws. I think this might be a way to play around this. But we'll see what happens here, and we'll go from there. Main thing here is I don't want to activate any weakness policies on Dragapult right off the bat. I would like to weaken it, up my speed a little bit first before we hit it. So we're going to see Grimmsnarl and Gyarados. So this is great. Oh, this is perfect. I'm glad I led this lead. It gave me so much flexibility. We're probably going to see a very similarly to last time. Gyarados does intimidate Excadrill, but not a big deal here. Because what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and Dynamax Togekiss already, get that Max Starfall on the Grimmsnarl slot. But I'm going to go ahead and switch out Excadrill. Do I want to knock out Grimmsnarl now? Yeah, I feel like I do. I'm going to go ahead and Max Starfall on the Grimmsnarl slot, and then I'm going to go ahead and switch out into Indeedee. Now the thing here is that I will be canceling out my Psychic Terrain after this turn, but really, I knocked out Grimmsnarl, that's all I need. And then I can kind of mitigate and work around with Indeedee and make it more supportive rather than offensive in this case. So we are going to go ahead and give it that Indeedee slot. That will allow us to activate the Psychic Surge, giving us a little bit of a boost there. Battlefield gets weird. I get my special defense boost. Not really a big deal at this moment. But the main thing here... Oh, we get Gyarados to withdraw. Interesting choice. And we're going to get Mienshao. This is played so effectively for us. I cannot believe we are going to get this. This is perfect for us. We're going to knock out this Grimmsnarl. And then we're going to have such a focus on the Mienshao. It's going to make it hard for the opponent to come back here. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but my microphone kind of like blew up, my headset blew up whenever I had to hear Togekiss cry. So Grimmsnarl does go with Reflect, which is the best, because I don't care about Reflect. I'm using special attacks, baby. That's what I'm going after. And look at that. We knock out that Grimmsnarl. Get him out of there. No need to worry about him anymore. Now we did lose the Psychic Terrain here, but not a big deal. Honestly, once we knock out the Mienshao, he's in such a great place in taking on this opponent. He doesn't really have much, besides Cinderace, not many fighting type answers. So we are in a great look right now. Current. So we are going to see the Cinderace come out. Cinderace doesn't really, besides Max Steel Spike, doesn't really have much to deal with against Togekiss. So right now I am going to try to target down that Mienshao, and I'm going to go with a Follow Me. The main thing here is that I do want to prevent anything like that Max Steel Spike to immediately hit the Togekiss. I'd like to get some speed boosts and try to really maximize my Dynamax turns. The Reflect going out, not that bad right now. I mean, I do have some advantages here, but I do have to be mindful in case the opponent does flip things around with their Dynamax. But we'll see what happens here, and we'll play it by ear and figure things out. So, Cinderace protects, which is awesome. That's exactly the type of turn I want here. And we are going to see Mienshao go for that fake out, which doesn't matter. I was going to follow me anyways. I didn't care. And I get the Max Airstream off. This is going to do some big damage on Mienshao. Mienshao is knocked out. Oh my goodness. This is the turn I was looking for. This is great. Now I get a Max Airstream on the Cinderace one more time. And that might be enough to knock it out. Knocking out the Cinderace is going to be the next thing. Or do I want to knock out Gyarados? I feel like knocking out Gyarados would be helpful. Just so I don't have to deal with the water attacks. So I can go ahead and target down Gyarados now. And maybe I'll just double target the Gyarados. I'll use Max Airstream, and I'll go with an Expanding Force on that Gyarados slot. And Cinderace, hey! Thank you so much, Noon Gamer, for watching, and thank you so much for the well wishes. I'm really excited. We won our first battle, so I'm very confident we can win the second one. But it really depends on what the opponent does. They could turn things around. But I think if I double target this Gyarados slot, I could have double targeted Cinderace as well because I knew it protected already. But I do feel like the Gyarados slot is going to be the biggest Pokemon I got to deal with. Just making it easier for Tyranitar and Excadrill to clean up in the end game here. I'm telling you though, Wow, the fact... Okay, so we are going to see the Dynamax, and most likely it is the Cinderace that is going to Dynamax. So I'm okay with us going after this Gyarados. I'm sure that Cinderace is going to try to do something like Max Steel Spike. Okay, knowing it's Pyro Ball means that I don't have to worry about the sun coming out. So the weather will be in my favor. So I'm going to use that to my advantage later down the line. We are going to see the Max Steel Spike. I did expect this to come out. That is going to do a lot of damage. Interesting enough, this wasn't a Libero Cinderace. We didn't see it's a type change. So I am kind of shocked by that, actually. We are going to get without Stunning Force, which isn't going to do too much, but the Max Air Stream, hopefully for the... Ooh, that's unfortunate. Yo, Team Togepi, that's right. New on Game Arena Field last time when we had Togekiss win our Master Rank, which is super helpful. Gyarados goes for that crunch, does a decent amount of damage there. I do lower my defense, unfortunately, but honestly, not a big deal here. I think that what we want to do here now is to have Togekiss go ahead and go for that Dazzling Gleam to guarantee that knockout on Gyarados. And we're going to go ahead and hit that follow me button. Really, it's NDD has done its job, and I'm very happy of how it played in this game. So NDD does go with that follow me to protect ourselves against any crunches or the max air. I basically, I get outspeeded anyways, which is awesome. But this gives me an extra turn. A critical hit on Cinderace, crit on Gyarados, but doesn't really do too much to Gyarados. Cinderace, not a big deal. I basically just like myself against this Max Steel Spike. Cinderace is going to go in with it. NDD is knocked out here, but man, it's 3 against 1, and Cinderace only has 1 more turn of Dynamax. We are looking at an amazing spot here. Only hard thing that will come with this is that Cinderace is actually very defensively inclined now with 2 defense buffs and that reflect up. But honestly, I don't think that this is going to make much of a difference in the long run. Now that I know that, you know, we pretty much set the end game here. We get the air slash off. Doesn't do too much in the Dynamax. We are going to see the G-Max Fireball. Trying to do as much damage into that extra drill, but I've focused that. I know these big moves are coming my way, and I'm not too worried here. I take that like a champ, and I go in with a high horsepower, and we're slowly but surely bringing this Cinderace down. Misty Train is done on from the field, so I can get burned depending on the move, but Cinderace is pretty much looking in the not so great spot. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with a Dazzling Gleam. I don't want to lose accuracy based on this, and I'm just going to go ahead and protect with extra drill. Playing a more safer route here, but I feel like at this case we have that luxury, and I really want to get this checkmate versus just a check. Oh man, this was a great battle. Excadrill does protect itself just to avoid any Pyro Balls. I didn't want to go with the Air Slash Miss. We get the Dazzling Gleam. It's not going to do too much. Oh, it knocked it out. Crit, right? Here we go! And Team Togepi for the win! We did it! Awesome job. That was so great. I was pumped. That was an awesome match right there. Yeah. My goodness, we are 3-0 so far. 2 on stream, and then they threw in a match when I first registered my team, so I just played that real quick this morning. But yeah, I'm digging it. I'm so excited. Look at that. 15:45. We're climbing up. We're going to get some harder matches for sure, but we got to stay positive. Let's keep on thinking about how to win and really navigate through. But really, the Togekiss Excadrill lead is so great. Of just like, depending on the mode that I need, I can change up the game. And so, huge shout out for that lead combination. I love it so much. Highly recommend it if you haven't done it already. But yeah, I'm surprised I haven't used Gastrodon or Corsola as much. I usually use them a lot more, but I think it depends on the opponent. So we'll have to see if they come up in different ways that would be helpful. In that matchup, Gastrodon didn't really cover anything here. So I have no idea. West Pops. So we have a very interesting team here. Excadrill, Tyranitar as well. Togekiss and NDD. Rillaboom and Arcanine. So while I do like Gastrodon against the Tyranitar and Excadrill, one thing I do need to be mindful of is the Rillaboom It looks like he'll have 2 different forms of terrain. I only have 1, and I have an NDD female instead of male, so his will be more offensively inclined, which makes sense given his team makeup. He will probably use Togekiss and Arcanine as a more defensive makeup. I do actually like my own Tyranitar, and the main reason here is that if I do a mirror match of Tyranitar, I actually most likely will outspeed with Superpower due to my Choice Scarf. And so I'm hopeful that will be impactful and can work. I do like my own Corsola as well. I don't feel as confident with Gastrodon, but I do feel confident with Tyranitar, Excadrill, Corsola, Togekiss. And the reason why I like this lead, mainly so, if the opponent, if I leave a Tyranitar Excadrill, I got the speed advantage. And if he doesn't, Togekiss is strong. It got the muscle for sure. But if I need to switch out, Corsola is a great kind of buffer to switch out too. So we'll see what happens. He could leave with Arcanine, which isn't really ideal. I would like to get offensive pressure as fast as possible. So we do get the Arcanine Togekiss, which isn't as great as I would have liked. But let's see what we can work with here. Maybe I might not hit as offensively strong immediately, but maybe the double rock slice might give me a turn or two to kind of feel the waters, so to speak. If Togekiss is more defensively inclined, we're actually going to see it right here. Togekiss would do something like Follow Me, and I can kind of mitigate the damage, mitigate the effectiveness of that turn, thanks to Wax Slide hitting both opponents. So we're going to try the double Wax Slide, and let's see what happens here. Togekiss could also Dynamax here, which wouldn't be great for me. I feel like I would have to lose Arcanine. I will be losing Tyranitar at the slot at this time, and I will activate a weakness policy. But I mean, we gotta learn. We just gotta see. So we'll see. I am curious though. Arcanine goes ahead and protects here, and Togekiss does not Dynamax. We are going to see a double protect. Interesting. Okay. The only thing that they will see is that I double Rock Slide. So I could have switched out that turn, but it just seems like a weird one. So that's all they get from this. But I don't think they got anything useful. I know that Togekiss, Arcanine is safety goggles. Okay, we learned that. I feel like it's still a safe play. I honestly don't know what the opponent can switch out into. And if they switch out, then it's not going to be great. I'll be able to... I mean, if, like, for instance, let's say they switch out into their own Tyranitar. Okay, then I hit it twice with Rock Slide. It's not going to be super effective if it does good damage to it. And then the next turn I can try to... I can maneuver the board a little bit. I just felt that was such a passive turn on their end that it didn't do anything for them. And now I know it's safety goggles. That's going to be helpful. Okay, so Togekiss is going to be withdrawn. We are going to see the Excadrill, the opposing Excadrill. So this is great because it won't do too much on the Excadrill. But with the... Okay, now I reveal that I will able to Choice Card. I do a lot on Arcanine. And Arcanine flinches. So the great thing here is that I'll go Rock Slide one more time with Tyranitar, and now I can just high horsepower on this Excadrill. I have gotten some chip damage already, and I think I've been able to utilize the... I've had more offensive pressure. If the opponent hasn't really been able to do too much here, and I haven't taken any damage, I'm not burned in the slightest, thanks to that flinch. This is really putting them in a bad spot. They could try to switch out the Arcanine, but honestly, in the long run of things, I'll be okay. We are going to see the Dynamax here from the Excadrill. But honestly, who are you going to knock out? Right? You go after my own Excadrill, it doesn't matter. I mean, I have the Focus Sash next turn. If you hit my Tyranitar, okay, I lost him. But I can find other ways to work with this. So I am going to... Arcanine is going to protect here. And we do get the Max Steel Spike on the Tyrannosaur. So Tyrannosaur is knocked out. Not too bad. I mean, like I said, I did a lot of damage on this Arcanine already. So I do feel confident with what I've accomplished so far here. Excadrill does reveal the Life Orb, which is perfect. And I get the high point count. So this will be an interesting move. But one thing I think I want to do here is I actually want to yeah, I want to do it this way. I want to Dynamax, Max Guard the Togekiss, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to Rock Slide. No, I'm going to High Horsepower the Arcanine Slide. There will be a certain point that Excadrill is no longer necessary. And I think I'm close to that timing right here. So what I'm going to do here is by protecting Togekiss, I'm going to give myself a free turn with my Excadrill to knock out the Arcanine, and then be able to adjust based on what the opponent is doing. We are going to see that Max Guard come out. I do get the higher horsepower off. I am able to knock out Arcanine. And I burn that turn with that Max Steel Spike. Perfect. Excadrill still preserves its focus. We're gonna go ahead and ignore that phone call. They can call me later. We're battling now. Alright, Togekiss is... Alright, so a couple things I can do here. I feel like at this point I would like to... How many turns of Sandstorm do I have left? This is the last turn. I'm going to Max Airstream here. And then for my own Excadrill... Yeah, I gotta... I'll Max Airstream the Togekiss. I'll switch out to Corsola. This resets the attack I have. Man, that took a long time to decide. But that will reset my attack drop. Make it easier for everything. Perfect! Great prediction there. This gives me... Beautiful. I will take that happily. Even though that special defense boost is not great, the fact that I will get this Max Airstream off is going to be wonderful. We crit on Togekiss. I don't disable it, unfortunately, but not a big deal here. I'm able to knock out Togekiss handedly, which is awesome here. The crit on that Togekiss too is really nice. And that will be a knocked out Togekiss, just making it really easy to deal with in the long run. Excadrill no longer having the Max Steel Spike. I'm pretty sure I could survive at least one of the Iron Head for sure. And we are going to see Rillaboom come out. Rillaboom is going to activate that Grassy Surge. So I think in the end game I do want to knock out Rillaboom first now. So Excadrill is going to go ahead and become smaller. So baby Excadrill now. With the Max Airstream, I should outspeed a lot of things. So I am going to go after that Rillaboom. And I'm going to Strength Sap the Excadrill. Hey, thank you so much, Noan Gamer. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Yeah, I hope your meeting goes well, and I will catch you on the flip side. Yeah, the Togekiss versus Togekiss matchup, we were able to handle it well. I do get off the Max Airstream on this Rillaboom. I actually have 2 Excadrill, which is awesome. And look at that, Excadrill, Rillaboom off the field, and it says Excadrill v Excadrill and Togekiss. Great switch in, and really capitalizing on the opponent's overall passivity. The opponent was just, he was too slow on the drop, and I think that really hurt them. Excadrill does get some healing thanks to the grassy terrain, but the damage from Life Orb is going to do a lot. And luckily now, I still preserve my Focus Sash. And so, Excadrill has to kind of debate, do I fight Togekiss or do I fight Excadrill? Togekiss naturally outspeeds Excadrill, thanks to the, what's the accuracy, 90? Nah, I ain't gonna risk it. I'm just gonna hit with Dazzling Gleam. I'll just do high horsepower. I don't want to lose on the accuracy fight. And the battle was canceled anyways. Great match. It really was just putting the opponent in a tough bind of overexerting Excadrill. And because I exerted offensive pressure so early on, they just weren't able to respond to it. So, great battle. Let's continue. And that was such a clutch switch out too, of just making it easier in the long run for Excadrill, having Corsola take those hits. I honestly thought they would go after Togekiss, but I'm glad they didn't. I thought that was awesome. I got really lucky there. Alrighty, so we have a very interesting team here too. Rotom Mow, Milotic, Duraludon, Lapras, Haxorus, and Talonflame. Haxorus is actually pretty scary under Dynamax, especially if Talonflame can get off a Tailwind early on in the game. But I feel like Togekiss... okay. Haxorus also is known to carry Steel moves. That's the tricky thing. Both of them, on paper, seem good, and also with Lapras being G-Max, that might be a little bit harder to deal with. So I'm not sure if I feel as 100% confident. Yeah, I didn't need to listen to the sound for now, so I'm going to go ahead and take off the headset for now, the headphones. I don't know. I feel like speed is helpful. I don't like Togekiss much, but I do like Indeedee. I kind of like Gastrodon if I can get rid of Rotom Mow. I feel against the Lapras endgame is helpful, so I feel like I'm going to exert offensive pressure immediately, go with Indeedee, and go with Gastrodon. Yeah, I don't see, besides burning Haxorus, Corsola doesn't really help out. So, I'm going to try it that way. My hope here is that we don't have to deal with Haxorus that much. Hopefully the threat of Togekiss might be enough to convince the opponent, hey, don't mess with me, you know, leave, get out of my way type deal. So, I'm hopeful there. Alrighty. So, we're going to start off this battle. The opponent is going to lead. Who are we getting? Taxus and Talonflame. Okay, I can work with this. Excadrill naturally will outspeed, and so it's this time. I really want this knockout on this Talonflame early on, so I'm just going to double Rock Slide. There doesn't seem to be any play against this. Haxorus does break the mold, so any Sturdy wouldn't work, but my bulk isn't based on ability, it's based on items, with Excadrill holding the Focus Sash. So, again, I'm not worried here. I'm okay with this. We are going to get the Rock Slide, and Talonflame actually does not move, which is interesting. That was kind of the worst play you could do. You should have done for that Tailwind. But I get the Rock Slide off as well, because he didn't realize I was Choice Scarf. That's double chance for flinch, and I don't get the flinch, but I get hit by Earthquake. Totally fine in this case. Excadrill survives. I knock out that Talonflame early on, and the speed is... I control the speed. Interesting, though, because I believe none of my Pokemon are good candidates for Dynamax. Yeah. Alright, so we are going to get Lapras. This will be interesting. Lapras does make some offensive pressure here, so while he did lose, I don't like the idea of activating the weakness policy, but I feel like in this case, Tyranitar won't really have much to do. And so what I can do is switch into Gastrodon, predicting the Max Geyser. If not, then Excadrill will get knocked out. And I feel like Excadrill has done its job. So we're going to go ahead and switch out Tyranitar. Gastrodon is actually going to be a great candidate for Dynamax in the long run. So I am glad I didn't Dynamax. The opponent does Dynamax. We could expect a Max Resonance. If not, we're going to get the Max Geyser, which I'm really hopeful for. So, this will be great. I am going to knock out the Haxorus early on. get the Iron Head off. Perfect. I'm knocked out Hastrus. 2 Pokemon are knocked out on their side. And are we going to get the Max Geyser? No, we get Max Resonance. Okay. No problem there. It is going to go on that Gastrodon slot, which is unfortunate. That's a lot of damage, though. I am kind of worried about that. That's a lot of damage. Lapras is going to take some damage thanks to that Sandstorm, but what I'm trying to do here is I really need to delegate kind of who I'm knocking out. I really don't want to touch Lapras now. I don't think Gastrodon should Dynamax at this time. Rotom, okay. So I am going to go ahead and switch out Gastrodon back into Tyranitar. And I think at this point I am going to Iron Head the Rotom. Now, it doesn't do much damage, but the idea behind this is just to get some chip damage off, slowly but surely wear it down. I don't want Gastrodon to get hit by this Rotom. I could have protected for sure. But honestly, with the Max Geyser in the long run isn't going to help out. Like, it doesn't, because I get an attack flinch, right? I get the Iron Head, maybe I get a flinch, I don't know. No, I don't, but yeah, Tyranitar is going to get knocked out here. That's the sacrifice I'm willing to make. Lowering that special attack, that's perfect here. Exactly what I'm looking for. And we are going to get that Max Resonance again. And that will be knocking out Excadrill. So, now a 2v1 situation, or a 2v2 situation rather, with Indeedee and Rotom versus Gastrodon and Indeedee and Gastrodon versus Rotom and Lapras. I want to protect Gastrodon, and then I want to lead. So this is what I'm thinking: protect with Gastrodon. To be able to not worry about Lapras and Rotom, because I definitely sense this coming up. And then Lapras at the end game, not a big deal. So I am going to protect. I'm going to try to hit with Mystical Fire, actually. This will lower Rotom's special attack by -1, which will be very helpful in the long run. Perfect. We go ahead and avoid that Leaf Storm. And I get off the Mystical Fire. Oh, that's just perfect there. Lowering Gastrodon's lowering Rotom Mo's special attack even further. Rotom Mo does take damage from the Sandstorm. I take damage from the Sandstorm, and so will Lapras as well. Lapras is done with Dynamax. All I could fire off with the G-Max Resonances, but we're equipped to play the slow burn game here. So now with Gastrodon, I am going to go ahead and use Max Quake on Lapras, and then I will Mystical Fire on Rotom one more time. With -3 special attack, I do feel confident I can survive at least one Leaf Storm. And I'm glad that I decided to Tyranitar at that point. Gastrodon has a lot of HP, and I'm hopeful to use this. We're gonna get that Leaf Storm. Oh no! It knocks me out! Oh my goodness! I did. Oh, wow! Not great. Oh man, this is tough. I do get off the Mystical Fire though. And Lapras does attack with Freeze Dry. Okay. So the okay. You know, it happens. It's Pokemon, but it's just frustrating when it does. I definitely want to hit this Lapras. I knew, I had a feeling, but you know. Ah, you gotta be kidding me. And Aurora Veil rails off too. Ah, man. Mystical Fire isn't enough to thaw me out. That is the lowest, let me tell you. I was surprised that Rotom actually, man. And I think in that case, if I did do, yeah, replaying that, if I did do Follow Me at that moment, I could have hit Rotom Mow with something else. And then the next turn protected Dynamax. I could have protected. There are different. I could have reused Recover actually, and then I could have used. Yeah, so replaying that. So besides the freeze, if I replayed that, Follow Me, when he had the negative after I used Mystical Fire once, Follow Me to take in the next hit, he'd be at -5. I would have taken Lapras's Freeze Dry once. I would have then recovered, having all my HP. And then the next turn, I could have Dynamaxed, did some damage on Lapras, and then started using Expanding Force. And that probably would have put me in a better spot in the long run. So, not a big deal, it happens. But I think I could have played a little bit longer in the longer game to have made that a win. But not a big deal, that was a great match overall. And we'll keep on going, dang, I should have thought of it that way. I'm just saying, like, guarantee the win, make it Gastrodon. I should have had it more. I kind of rolled the dice there. I thought -3 would be enough at Dynamax to survive at least one, but unfortunately it wasn't enough, and we just lost against the dice. It happens. Alrighty, so Diego actually has a very interesting team. We have Hatterene, we have Escavalier, Mienshao, Duraludon, Pinchurin, and Milotic. What I find interesting about this team is that it's very Trick Room centric, and a way to turn off Psychic Terrain thanks to Pinchurin. I don't think that, and it has like the Electric Cage move or whatever. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. Gastrodon definitely seems like a great fit here. I kind of like Corsola against, oh wait, no, it doesn't deal against burns. Okay, I like Corsola against Escavalier. I kind of like this. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is Tyranitar Corsola. Indeedee. Yeah. This is a very interesting team. I decided not to bring Excadrill because I feel like I will naturally outspeed regardless. Corsola allows me to... that's cute. Corsola allowed me to look at this from a more defensive perspective, and then I can kind of switch offensively if need be. Let's see what happens here. So, we're going to see Mienshao and Escavalier lead off. So, here is that Mienshao can only fake out one Pokemon, which is Tyranitar. And so, you have to ask the question, will you fake out Tyranitar? Escavalier would probably Dynamax and then use a, I guess like a max, Fluttershy or whatever. So I think in this case, I feel confident going into Indeedee. And then I'm going to burn the Escavalier. Corsola should outspeed Escavalier actually, so. Luckily, Indeedee can be offensive and defensive thanks to Psychic Surge. I do have to be mindful that Pinchurin can come in and mess things up. The opponent is going to go ahead and activate the Dynamax pretty early on with Escavalier. So, that was an interesting choice. I don't know if I agree with it, but I can at least burn it. And then from there, I can probably use Mystical Fire, which will be nice. Oh! Interesting. Coaching to boost up his attack. We are going to see the Max Quake, actually, which is interesting instead of the Max Fluttershy, so I am actually grateful for that. That is actually very helpful for me. basically the name of the game here is to make it where Excadrill doesn't really get to use its Dynamax at all. I'm going to use Strength Sap, and I'm going to go ahead and use Mystical Fire here. We are going to see the knockoff on the Corsola slot, and that does a good amount to knock out my Eviolite, which isn't great. I do get the Mystical Fire off of it. No weakness policy? No weakness policy, that's awesome. We're going to Strength Sap it, lowering its attack even further, and really putting Excadrill in a tough spot here. Excadrill is now at neutral. We are going to see the Max Steel spike into the Corsola slot. I take that like a champ. Excadrill does have Life Orb, which will be helpful to kind of deal with in the long run. Entity is going to take damage thanks to that Sandstorm. I feel like I want to use Expanding Force now. I think I'm going to Strength Sap one more time on the Excadrill slot. We're going to see the knockoff on Entity. It's enough to knock out Entity, unfortunately. But I do get the Strength Sap off. Corsola is taking these attacks like a champ, let me tell you. This is great. This is awesome. I think the one thing I do need to be mindful of is what's going to happen the next turns after this. So Excadrill, I'm so sorry, Escavalier is pretty much neuter as far as attack goes at -1. I do have Gastrodon, and I do have Tyranitar. So I feel like I can use Tyranitar, and then, yeah, I feel like at this point, I resend out Tyranitar, and then Iron Head to out. I might outspeed it, actually. And then Nightshade me and Shao, and I think by virtue of the... Oh, I should have done Superpower. More power, honestly. Should have thought of it that way. Perfect. I did not care about Escavalier at this point. I could have gotten the flinch at my point. Okay. You knock off my Torchguard. I don't know. Okay, Yanshao uses Coaching, perfect. That does up Escavalier's attack and defense. But at this point, really, that just means more healing for me. I get to get off a Nightshade. And you have to use Iron Head on the Corsola. Taking in some Life Orb damage. Sandstorm's over, but you will be taking chip thanks to that burn. And I can just use, and it looks like that's over. That gives me an advantage next turn, where I can use Strength Sap, or something of to that nature, going forward. So we'll have to see. A lot of is sent out. So I think in this case, I'm going to go ahead and switch out Tyranitar to Gastrodon. Just make it easier for myself. And I'm going to go ahead and use Strength Sap on that Escavalier. Getting all my HP back. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be great. Melodic actually is breaking Swipe, which is an interesting tech option here. Gastrodon loses a little bit of its attack, but honestly, I get that strength set back. Look at all that HP back. Thank you for that boost in your attack with Kochi. That meant nothing. All of it back. Look at that. Fully healthy, even without my Eviolite. And Iron Head is not going to do anything against Gastrodon. You lose your HP. You're knocked out. This is great. This is awesome. Exactly what I'm looking for here. And I'm just feeling comfortable. I probably don't even need a Dynamax. I don't think I need to. I don't think I should. Let's see what the final opponent is going to be Hatterene. So that is a great Pokemon I should be targeting all my attacks against. I'm going to go ahead and use Scald on it. And then I'm going to go ahead and use Nightshade on it as well. Hatterene can also activate Trick Room, but it doesn't really make sense. Alright, so we are going to see the Protect here, but really, I don't know what Milotic can do. Ice Beam against Gastrodon could freeze, so actually that's... Okay, so no freezes, nothing of that sort. We got lucky there. So that's it. Okay, I don't feel as confident having Gastrodon out with that potential freeze. So I will go ahead and Nightshade the Hatterene again, but going to switch back out into Tyranitar. This will make things a little bit easier to do with Hatterene in the long run anyways, with the whipping and tearing through the opponent. So hopefully this will be beneficial. Milotic is going to use Ice Beam again, and it's going to go in the Tyranitar slot. Really fine in this case. I do get the Nightshade off. And we see a No, we see a Dazzling Gleam. Okay. Tyranitar barely... Ooh, that crit. But barely holds on, which is helpful. I'm going to Rock Slide. In case I outspeed, I'm pretty sure I outspeed Milotic, and I will use Light Screen to make it easier in the long run. Perfect, I figured as much. I didn't want to deal with that. I do get the Rock Slide off on, do I hit? I hit Milotic, so I could get a flinch here. Yep, I get the flinch, perfect. And I get the Light Screen off, that's exactly what I'm looking for here. Perfect turn right there. And I'm glad I predicted that Protect and went for the Rock Slide instead. Sometimes losing your choice scarf is beneficial. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get hit with that Iron Head, and now we'll double up and hit with that Nightshade. This will make it a lot easier in the long run to deal with Milotic. And the battle was canceled. Opponent really didn't... They could have kept it playing. There were ways I could have thrown that. But that flinch was really helpful. Awesome! That was a great fight. I think what was the problem was the opponent invested so much into Escavalier that it unfortunately put him in a bad spot in the long run, and it was unfortunate on their end. But it was a great match overall. I think that would have made it stronger was if they had the Trick Room mode, immediately there. And I think that would have made it a lot harder for me to have countered that, right? If it was Hatterene and Escavalier, or Hatterene and Mienshao, something along those lines, and switching in Escavalier, so 3 turns of Trick Room equals 3 turns of Dynamax, but it just didn't pan out, and the opponent kind of hurt himself in a tough spot there. Alright, probably do 2 more battles before we take a break here, and I'm really excited to take a break, because I have break music that y'all can enjoy, and a little slideshow. But anyways, we're going to be facing off against Skylar here. Skylar brings a very Sun-centric team, also a Trick Room mode. So, I'm not surprised to see this. As much as I would like to use Gastrodon, Torkoal, Charizard, and Venusaur all have access to either Grass moves or Solar Beam. So they do have grass coverage, which is why I don't feel as confident bringing in Gastrodon. But I do like the idea of the Excadrill Togekiss lead, and then depending on what my opponent brings, mitigating damage or figuring that out based on what the lead is from there. If it's NDD also is a great lead off against Venusaur, and so even just having NDD and NDD Excadrill might be helpful. NDD can hit with the Psychic Surge boosted Psychic Expanding Force, which would be really powerful here. And so a lot of options here. I think I will probably go with NDD Excadrill. And then, depending on what my opponent does, have either Tyranitar or Togekiss. I don't know how confident I feel like Togekiss switching in. I'm gonna go back with my first option, which was NDD, Excadrill, Togekiss, and then NDD or Tyranitar, depending on what the lead might need there. So here we go. The opponent is gonna be heading. I kind of thinking about this too. I think a Lumberry would be nice on Togekiss, but if they decide to Dynamax their Venusaur, we'll be very lucky. So we are going to be leading off with Venusaur and Torkoal, and Togekiss. We are going to see that drop come out pretty early on. So I think in this case, I kind of want to get the drop on Venusaur. And I think what I'm going to do there is I'm going to go ahead and hit it with a Max Quake. No, actually, you know what? I'm going to hit it with high horsepower on the Torkoal slot, and then I'm going to go ahead and switch into Tyranitar. Even if I have to eat up a sleep, not a big deal in the long run. I can deal with Venusaur later. I think what I want to do is not deal with Torkoal now. Okay, Torkoal is withdrawn. We're going to see Dusclops actually come out. It does find the Focus Assassin. It does find my Choice Scarf. Unfortunate there. And Venusaur is actually going to Dynamax here. So, glad I didn't go all in with my Dynamax. And now knowing that Venusaur can Dynamax actually will be beneficial for me. I do know for a fact Venusaur is not going to go and use Slate Powder. I get the high horsepower off. Not going to do too much in this case, unfortunate, but we do get the max boost. Not very effective. It does bring up Venusaur's special attack, and Venusaur does lose damage thanks to that Life Orb. So I don't want it sticking around for too long here. I feel like in this case, though, Dusclops does present a very unique aspect of being very defensively inclined. And so I feel like I can double up in this target. If not, then it's just going to switch into Venusaur with Ally Switch, and I will be hitting Venusaur twice. So I kind of feel like in this case, Dusclops seems to be my biggest threat here. We are going to see that go back into the Torkoal slot. Unfortunate for me, but I can try to make this work. We'll see what we can do here. That Bind Lash is going to go straight into Tyranitar. Unfortunate there, but can we make this work? Yeah, close. It has a berry. Unfortunate. Well, I'm hopeful that the special defense buff will help me survive one attack. I can go with Rock Slide, or I can go with High Horsepower. It might be helpful to get Chip on Venusaur, so I might go with Rock Slide. Now, I need to go for the guaranteed knockout. be a good way to do it. Okay. Ah, dang it. Well, it can work in my favor. It still can work in my favor. Venusaur is going to use that max ooze on the enemy slot. Probably expecting to do that all on me anyway. I'm glad I didn't do that. I will get off a high horsepower here, which will be helpful. That does a lot of damage, which is nice. And you also have a weakness policy. Wow, everything is going wrong in this fight. But I get expanding force off, which does a lot of damage. It doesn't make sense to Dynamax Excadrill at this point. Unfortunately, I won't have the weather advantage anymore. But I can use this 2-man advantage and still... I'm going to try to hit both. Depending on how they kind of play around this. This is a tough one. I could see some switches coming in. Venusaur is going to go with that Sludge Bomb against Indeedee. It's enough to knock out Indeedee, but if I get this Rock Slide off, this can't be it. Yes. Thank goodness. I'm glad I went with Rock Slide. Knocking on Incineroar will be very from that G-Max Fire Blast. And now it's just Togekiss versus the world here. I have to be mindful about Sleep Powder coming up. So I want to avoid that. I'm going to max guard this turn. Most likely, Dusclops is going to use Trick Room. But Torkoal is actually pretty low HP right now, which I can use to my advantage since those eruptions aren't going to be as strong. If I can knock out Venusaur early enough, maybe the sun won't come back out by the time. But we'll see. We'll have to play this by ear here. So I will max guard to protect my dead self against sleep. Yes. Awesome. Do I get the Rock Slide off? I get the Rock Slide off! Great call out there. I was fearful of that Sleep Powder. Didn't want to deal with it. Glad I maxed it. So we are going to get the Trick Room up. But at this point in time, not a big deal here. We're just going to have to keep on wailing at the opponent. The G-Max Fine Blast is still going on. Ooh, that's a lot of damage right there. Alrighty, it's Torkoal versus the world. Torkoal does have Eruption, which will be decently strong. Stun Knight's going to go away after one more turn. We're going to go ahead and protect you now. I'm going to go ahead and max Starfall. Nope. Well, I mean, I'm already slow anyways. Might as well just knock out the Torkoal now. There we go. Dusclops can't knock out 2 Pokemon at once. Perfect. I will take that. I will protect myself. And I avoid! Yes! Now, I do have to deal with Pain Split, which isn't fun. But it's better than nothing. I will take this. And knocking out Torkoal! Let's go! Wow! Talking about like 4-2, and we found a way to bring it all the way back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going there. We're making it happen. We're making these strides. Let's go. The sunlight is over. It is just Dusclops versus the world. We can just hit it as hard as we want. It doesn't matter. We're under Trick Room anyway, so speed doesn't make a difference. I'm going to high horsepower here. I'm going to go ahead and hit that with max airstream button. Dusclops is going to go with that Bulldoze. Doesn't do anything against Togekiss. Does decent damage to Excadrill here. I will lose some of my speed here, but whatever. Ah, dang it. Missing that actually wasn't great. I should have gone for Iron Head. That's a lot of damage. Look at that. Crit with that. Let's go. Excadrill is going to up his speed, and so is Togekiss, but not a big deal here. Weirdness is over. No more Psychic Terrain. And Togekiss is done with Dynamax. But wow, look at that. We lost the weather advantage, and we lost 2 Pokemon, and yet we were still able to make this happen. We're going to go ahead and protect for Excadrill. Again, I want to play it as safe as possible, and I'm going to use Dazzling Gleam here. It's very possible that Dusclops does go for that Bulldoze again. If Dusclops actually cancels, we got this, folks. That was a battle. That was awesome. That was awesome. Man, wow. A lot of things happening. Staying with Excadrill, not really worrying about that. Calling out the Sleep Powder. Calling out the Sleep Powder was such an important part of that battle. If we didn't max guard there, we could have lost Togekiss with Trick Room and all that. And I'm thrilled that you decided not to. I'm thrilled I decided not to sack Togekiss that quickly. Venusaur going after that opportunity and hitting that Rock Slide. Maybe I could have gotten a flinch, but even if not, guarantee that knockout on Venusaur. Got that, got Dusclops in a good enough spot. And then Torkoal protecting Excadrill and knocking out Torkoal was huge. So, great match overall. Dusclops at the end just did not have the offensive pressure. That was awesome. Great job. Woo! I think we only had 1 loss this entire time. Wow, Togekiss is strong for sure. Oh my goodness, this is an awesome match. This is awesome. We're doing an amazing job here. Alright, we're going to be looking for this opponent. And then after this, I probably will be taking a short break real quick. And then from there, we'll go from there. But yeah. Oh man, this is awesome. I'm thrilled. Alright, we have found an opponent. Really excited to see who is up. Legolas. Alright, Legolas. From Lord of the Rings. I forget how to say his name. Okay. Interesting. Ooh, I don't like Porygon 2 that much at all. I used to use all the time too. Weezing's interesting. We could see neutralizing gas. We could also see Weezing using Misty Terrain. We have Cinderace, we have Dragapult, and we have Gyarados. I don't really like Gastrodon here. I like Togekiss a lot, but I don't know how I like Togekiss. Because the thing here is that, like, for instance, I don't want Togekiss to go to sleep. I feel like NDD can also put Amoonguss' number on lock, and also would hurt Galarian Weezing hard. Togekiss can also hurt Dragapult a lot, and I can deal with Gyarados. If I did Togekiss, I don't know if I want Excadrill though. I could though, because I could. Excadrill still works because if I instead see Cinderace, I can say, you know what, I'm just gonna do Tyranitar Excadrill. And then deal with Cinderace that way. Yeah, I could do that. I'll leave myself vulnerable to Gyarados, but I feel like it's okay. Yeah, actually, I feel like Amoonguss, that's the problem. Because, like, I like Gastrodon against Gyarados, Weezing, and actually, oh yeah, Burn would have also been helpful. But we'll figure it out. We'll find a way to deal with Porygon 2. I feel like with Porygon 2, as long as Porygon 2 is the last Pokemon, it's not going to handle the onslaught. And so that's the main thing here. Don't worry too much about Porygon 2. We'll figure it out. Alright, so we're both suited up, ready for the occasion. We're actually going to see Gyarados and Amoonguss against Togekiss and Excadrill. So, here, I think, I think in this game what I want to do is prevent any with priority. But I don't really have to worry about priority here. I don't want to get, I don't want to give him a free. Yeah, I'll go ahead and bring in Diddy. I could bring Tyranitar early. Well, no, because if Gyarados Mega Dynamaxes, then that can spell trouble. I'll go with Indeedee. I think the main thing here is that I want to knock out this Gyarados later. I feel like dealing with the Amoonguss early is going to be so helpful. And I can use Expanding Force, and Max Airstreams are just... We're probably going to be trading on a lot of Max Airstreams, let's be real. Excadrill is going to switch out. Gastrodon would have been a great system too, but not a big deal here. We're gonna get the Psychic Surge is set up. Yeah, I feel like safety goggles on the MDD would be really helpful. We are going to see the Gyarados Dynamax first, which is as expected. I am glad I kind of... Well, I could have knocked out Gyarados. If I believe that Max Rock Call would be enough, but I don't know. I don't think it. Because, yeah, that's the thing too. Follow Rage Powder. Yeah, he would have protected it with the move. Yeah. I feel like that would have been a better option here. That's okay. That's okay. We'll make it work. Figure it out. I think I'm worried too much about Power Whip. I shouldn't have been worried about Power Whip. We're gonna see the max Airstream actually. Yeah, so I was good on that call. Not a big deal. I'll take that as a game. Gyarados is gonna up its speed. So with Gastrodon, I will match that speed with my own. Cobra Berry. Oof. But if I get that critical hit, I'll burn through it. Not enough, unfortunately. And that might be all Gastrodon needed. All Amoonguss needs to get Sleep Powder off. Okay, Amoonguss does go with Spore. It's on the enemy slot. Yeah, safety goggles here would have been really helpful. Unfortunately, I don't get that, but you know, I am going to max Airstream again, and I will use the Expanding Force on Gyarados as well, just to get some damage off of here. At this point, we probably have to trade a max Airstream so we don't underspeed or outspeed each other, that we don't lose the speed momentum here. Man, that Cobra Berry hurt, but we did get a good hit though. And Amoonguss is kind of put in a bind. Has to switch out now. And so that might be enough later down the line. I probably could use that to my advantage and knock out Amoonguss later. Amoonguss is going to switch out, as expected. We're going to see Porygon 2. No, Weezing actually. So this does work to my advantage. Neutralizing Gas does disable any abilities, but I don't have any abilities to worry about. We're going to see the Max Quake actually going into the interview slot. So this is nice. I actually get the... They get a special defensive boost. Entity is fast asleep, unfortunate here. But I get him another Max Airstream, so I'll take that. And now I am at +2, and Gyarados is at +1. We got some Black Sludge recovering Weezing's health. So hopefully another Max Airstream will be enough to knock it out. If not, Expanding Force would be helpful. All in all, not a bad turn. Not bad so far. I think that the offense suppressor that Togekiss put on was really helpful. I don't think Amoonguss in the long run is going to be helping out. So I'm hopeful that we can make things work. He actually might think I have Gastrodon in the back though. So. Okay, Weezing is going to protect itself. I won't get full damage here, but I will do something. We are going to see the Max Geyser, so he, at this point, he's like, I'm confident enough that he's going to Entity is unfortunately knocked out here. With Weezing in the frame, I won't be able to turn off But it is the end of Dynamax, so at this point, I feel confident to have Excadrill and then protect. And then hopefully being able to knock out Weezing in one turn with the clap. And that's making it easier in the long run. Okay, so I will go with the Air Slash And I am going to go with Protect here. Hopeful that I can take at least one turn to be able to knock this bad boy out. Gyarados does not outspeed Togekiss at this time, which is something I am very thankful for. Whew, this is kind of scary though, but I'm confident that we can figure it out and maximize the damage output that we'll put out. Alrighty, Excadrill does protect. And I get off the Air Slash, awesome. Oh no, it wasn't enough. I think we had to double up in the Gyarados slot. If Weezing protects this turn and I get the Air Slash flinch, we're going to be in a great spot. I feel like protecting on Weezing is too obvious. It just feels too obvious. He's either going to protect or switch out. I'll deal with Weezing later. Yep. Figured as much. I didn't want to deal with it now. I get the Air Slash off. Am I going to be able to knock out? I get a lot of damage. I get a crit. Do we get the flinch? I mean, you get unfortunate though. But I got a quick attack because I have preserved up to this point. I get the Rock Slide off. Will this be enough to knock out Gyarados? Yes! We get the knockout on Gyarados. Awesome opportunity there, folks. Second train is over. And we are going to see Cinderace come out. I am going to try to Air Slash it. Hopeful that I can knock out Weezing. But hopefully I can flinch Cinderace and then knock out Weezing. But we'll have to see. Cinderace definitely has a number on Excadrill and probably can Sucker Punch anyway. Yeah, I should have thought of it. That's okay. Doing good damage to Cinderace will be helpful in the long run anyway. Oh! Decided not to. That works for my favor. That's the first time I've ever had Pyro Ball miss! Oh my goodness, that was so nice. That's amazing. And it looks like we can now use the Sandstorm to our advantage, which is very helpful indeed. Alrighty, we gotta figure out how we want to do this. I do want to hit that Amoonguss, but at the same time I also need to knock out that Cinderace. The speed I have is very helpful. So what I'm going to do is go into Tyranitar, and then I'm going to go ahead and Rock Slide Both. I'll get my speed control in a different way. Knocking out Cinderace completely will be very helpful indeed. Cinderace can still go for a Sucker Punch, but if you decide to go for Pyro Ball at that point, it's doubtful you have Sucker Punch. You would have just, why get the speed? You only have 1 HP. Right? I did not care. I went with Rock Slide anyway. Ah! God dang it. Ah. That's not as fine. I'm gonna go ahead and Iron Head. We're gonna double Iron Head. I do need to guarantee that I knock out this Cinderace. That's fine too. If you're getting a double Iron Head coming your way, buddy. Actually, that can be tough. The main reason why that's scary is that I locked myself into Iron Head. But here's the lucky thing, Cinderace does not have double targeting moves. So the only thing Cinderace can do is single target, so he has to choose who he wants to knock out. Hopeful that I can power through Cinderace's weaker defenses, and that will be enough to set me up for success here. So we're going to see the Pyro Ball, probably going to go after that token slot. Survival here, Togekiss is going to get knocked out. And then I had to go with that Iron Head. Oh no. Ooh, this is very dangerous. I could lose here. Pyro Ball might be enough to knock me out. Oh, he had a high jump kick anyways. Oi. And that's enough! Oi! Ah! That battle was unblocked. I think the problem here was that I over-assumed about Tyranitar, and I should have at that point just knocked out Cinderace, gone for the Air Slash, gone for the high horsepower or the Iron Head, and we would have been put in a much better spot there. But yeah, oof, that was a tough one. Tough loss, because I actually did have, I did have that one in the bag, and I threw it out. I threw it away. Yeah, I think it was the speed boost were very helpful. I should have done Air Slash, knocked out Cinderace, and be done with it. And that would have been enough, but Cinderace surprised me. I didn't have Sucker Punch, which would have ended the battle faster. Alright. Go ahead and quit battling for now. Take a small break. But I hope you guys have been enjoying this content so far. Thank you so much for tuning in so far. And we'll be right back after a short intermission. I'll see you guys in a bit. every time I forget I've muted my mic. Anyways, y'all didn't miss anything. I was just saying welcome back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We were playing Pokemon Sword and Shield online in the Players' Cup qualifier. Apparently, if you get far in this one, you can qualify for the online, like, official tournaments. It's a replacement for VGC. Are we going to actually get that far? Probably not. We're at current standing is 2,603. But, you know, we've been fighting some good battles. I mean, we only lost twice. So I would say that is an accomplishment in and of itself, for sure. Not as much Rillaboom as I thought I would see, but our team has a lot of offensive and defensive cores, and it's nice that I can exert both offensive and defensive pressure at the same time, let me tell you. We got both water and Coke, vanilla Coke here as we stream. I probably don't need to, so I actually have the gameplay that comes through the headphones. I have a monitor that I plug the Switch in, but honestly, it hurts to wear the headphones so long. I mean, it bothers my ears, and I have a lot of like meetings I got to go through throughout the week, and I usually use headsets for that. So it's kind of nice. I don't have to play with any sound, and you know what? I don't even need to. You don't need to listen to Pokemon to know the hits. Alrighty. Interesting choice here. We have Rillaboom, Cobalion, Primarina, Braviary, Colossal, and Dragapult. And as you guys know, when you see the Dragapult Colossal lead, you know that this thing is going for the whole, that's the lead. It's going to do the Surf combo. So, that combo, I don't really have a direct way to stop it. What would happen here, because Gastrodon doesn't take the full hit, right? So, what would happen here is that I would have to outspeed Dragapult, but none of my Pokemon, actually, there's one way they can do it. Excadrill would have to outspeed Dragapult and knock it out in one turn, but Excadrill doesn't have... That could work. Then I would deal with Volcalith. Yeah, I mean, I would have to go for like a Max Quake, and really knock it out. So I could probably go with Togekiss, Excadrill, have Tyranitar. I like Gastrodon-ish. My two fears with Gastrodon are Rillaboom and Colossal. Corsola does not really assist with anyone except for... Well, it can deal with Rillaboom. Not really. Oh, jeez. I ran out of time. I don't even know what my last Pokemon is. We'll just work with it. That's what happened. Oi. I honestly have no idea. What? Shoot, man. We'll have to see. Hopeful it'll be a good Pokemon, though. Hopeful that we will get lucky. Alrighty, so we got Rillaboom and Primarina, so we're actually not going to see that lead. And that is going to be sent off against Excadrill and MDD. Not what I was intending, but I turn off Grassy Terrain. I'll take that. That's a win in my book. Okay. So I get the Psychic Surge up, and I get the Psychic Speed. Raising my special defense. Okay, well... Wow, okay, this is interesting. I'll probably go with Corsola. I'll make it work. We'll make it work. And I'll use Expanding Force. I think the main thing here is I just want to get some damage off. And if I can slow down Rillaboom's assault in the long run, that will be helpful. My guess here is that Rillaboom actually might switch out to preserve his grassy terrain. But we'll have to see what happens here. So Excadrill is going to be switched out. And we are going to go with Corsola. Rillaboom actually uses Taunt, which is an interesting tech choice. Indeed falls for that taunt. That's fine. I was going to use Expanding Force anyways. And that does reduce my and Primarina goes for that Hyper Voice. That will also... Corsola disables it. Perfect. Okay. And Primarina is Life Orbed. So I think at this point what I want to do is So I expect another taunt to come out from Rillaboom. So what I kind of want to do is get rid of Rillaboom now, using... Okay, so Primarina does switch out. That's awesome. I'm glad to see that. And we're going to actually see Cobalion come back in. So Cobalion on the top from Mega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. We're going to see the knockoff on the Corsola slot. Unfortunate there, I do lose my Eviolite. But I do get off the Expanding Force. And I get off the Nightshade. So Rillaboom is knocked out. And so that will be helpful in the long run. I think that will definitely benefit. So NDD putting in that work with that Expanding Force. I did not expect this to happen. We are actually going to see Dragapult. Dragapult. I'm not as worried. I will use Strength Sap on the Cobalt. Yeah, I'm going to Strength Sap this turn. And then I'm going to go Expanding Force one more time. I mean, it doesn't seem like... We're going to see the Dragon Darts come out. That actually... Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that like a champ. Well, and I disable it. Awesome to see that. Cobalion probably isn't going to use Rock Slide. It is going to Iron Head. Perfect! This is a great turn for me. I get off the Expanding Force. A lot of damage on Cobalion and Dragapult, and I get off that Strength Sap. Man, talk about I didn't even get to choose my team, and I'm already doing great. That's all my health back, or close to all my health. Entity actually doesn't have to worry about taunt anymore here, and so I think in this case I'm going to go ahead and burn the Cobalion, and I'm just going to go ahead and protect. Just give myself a little bit of breathing room here, and I think in the long run this is just going to help out my team overall. So we are actually going to see the Dragon Ball. So I'm curious. Uh-oh, I got a little battery. I knew something like this would happen. Don't worry, we can go back to okay, so Cobalion is Dynamaxed. I'm curious to see what we're going to see. I get to do a Protect here. Just a little bit breathing, you know what I'm saying? Aha! Okay. Oh yeah, duh. Dragapult gets to kind of double up in this. So, let's see. I think the burn will be very helpful in the long run of things, but we're going to have to kind of make this work. So Cobalion is going to try to outspeed and hit things hard with its Justify. Gets hit 3 times. We are going to see the max airstream, so it's actually Dragapult does get a speed. So does Cobalion. And I missed with the Will-O-Wisp. Unfortunate. Okay. Well, I am going to switch into Excadrill. And I'm going to switch out Corsola. And I'm actually going to knock out the Dragapult here with... No, ooh, that's actually dangerous. Because I don't want... this is a little bit tougher one to call. There's a problem here. Yeah, I'm going to Max Quake the Cobalion. The problem here is that Cobalion, for a fact, the opponent gets his... Wait, I knocked out Rillaboom already. Duh. What am I worried? Ah, shoot. I should have then maxed Dragapult. Because you could max guard here to give yourself a speed. But you got +1 in your speed. I get +1 thanks to Canceling. But I also get to survive at least at 1 attack thanks to Focus Sash. So, I'm not too worried. It's really good fun. I don't know. This is a little bit tougher to call. Okay, knocking out Cobalion is actually going to be good. Perfect! Oh my god. Man, if you max guarded there, ooh, that would have been game. That was great. Man, that was so... That was Tyranitar, so I don't have to deal with the Hyper Voice. I'll max Quake the thing right up. I think in the end game I can Dragapult versus Tyranitar. I am going to deal with the Breaking Swipe. It does lower my attack again. But if I do up my defense, it'll make it easier on the Hyper Voice. That and the chip from Sandstorm. So I do a lot of damage there. Exactly what I'm looking for here. This is great. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm glad it's working. And I'm going to have to deal with a pretty strong Hyper Voice, but it comfortably. Oh, and your Life Orb. Goodness. You're gonna. This is it. You're done, because that's enough. Oh, thank good. Oh, baby! Look at that. Yeah. I really want to boil down to, and now you can use Dragon Darts, but at this point it's a moot point. I'll Nightshade here, and I'm just gonna max. I'll max this, why not? Just to make it look pretty. Yep. Awesome job. Really knocking out that Rillaboom early. I got lucky because they picked out my team for me. But knocking out Rillaboom early on was super helpful, and really putting my opponent on a bind with a Psychic Terrain boost really helped out too. The taunt was a waste of a turn, and I'm glad that I decided to use Expanding Force there. And you know, I figured a taunt would come out in Corsola. It didn't. But I am glad I decided, instead of being defensive, I went offensive there. So, great opportunity there. We're going to do a quick break so I can change out the Joy-Cons because they're low in battery. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, appreciate y'all's patience. We are back with more Battleland. I forgot to unmute my mic, but not a big deal. You probably just heard some background noise of me switching out the Joy-Cons here. Now we got the gray ones. But yeah, that was an awesome battle. Really lucky that the opponent decided not to protect with Cobalion that turn. I would have, actually. And then that would have given enough opportunity for me to have messed around. But luckily I now also outsped too, which is nice. So, we do see another kind of beat-up combo could happen here with Dragapult and Terrakion. I could outspeed Terrakion, luckily, and both Excadrill and Tyranitar could probably power him through with Iron Heads and Max Steel Spikes here, which is nice. I would use Superpower just for more oomph. Yeah, I honestly feel like that would be great. The only thing I would have to worry about is Rillaboom, but I think I could take a pretty similar pace from last time using Indeedee and Corsola, so I might do that. And if I need a more defensive kind of pivot, I can kind of work with those. Togekiss looks good on paper, but it really is going to be the whole emphasis on dealing with Dragapult is going to be kind of bloody hard. So let's see what happens here. It might just go immediately to that beat-up combo, in which case I feel very confident in knocking out the Terrakion. Okay, so we're actually going to see Terrakion and Rillaboom. You can catch that in the room, so that definitely took a lot of effort to get Terrakion. So we are going to get the Sandstorm. Rillaboom does give me Terrakion, but Terrakion doesn't scare me as much because it doesn't have Dragapult to activate it. So what I am going to do here, though, I still like the high horsepower. I like... Do I want to Dynamax it early? I don't know if I feel comfortable with that. I mean, I could, and Dynamaxing early allows me to hit Terrakion. And then I can use... yeah, why not? I feel like what's going to happen is Drakion is going to activate a weakness policy. And so if I can stop priority from coming out from Rillaboom, that would be very helpful in the long run. Stopping the drafty slides and fake outs with the Psychic Surge. And trying to knock out Terrakion early. Terrakion most likely will probably go for... Probably will knock out right now. So I feel confident that... even if it has... I mean, NGD might... Nope, no protects, nothing. I just get the back. I'll take that. I'll take that. I am okay with this. This is great. This is awesome. And this will actually make it a lot nicer to deal with Rillaboom in the long run. Alright, so Drakion out. And we get the Drakion live. Not as powerful there. And yeah, this is awesome. This is the type of turn I wanted. So I'm thrilled to see this. And I also preserve information about my Tyranitar's choice cards. The Fast Dino, as Neuron Gamer like to call him. Alright, so we are going to see Primarina. And I think in this case, I do want to double target into that Primarina slot just to get it out of here. So, yeah, you know what? Well, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to max Steel Spike into the Primarina slot. And then I'm going to go ahead and Expanding Force as well. And so the reason why I say max Steel Spike, cool, perfect. I do not. Incineroar is going to come out, but I think it would be rough on the defenses here. Luckily, though, the Expanding Force will be. Actually, now I wish I could go for it. So Primarina is actually going to happen. This is good. This is bad. A lot of things that could happen. I probably will be. So I do get off the max Steel Spike, will make it easier but I kind of wanted to put the defense up. Might have been more valuable. But we'll see what happens. We are going to see the Expanding Force. Doesn't work on Incineroar, but I do get to hit me on this. And we are going to see the Max Geyser, so it does have that Hydro Cannon or a Water Cannon. Unfortunately, I didn't maximize my Dynamax as much as I would have liked. But, trying to think, what do I want to do next? I don't have that. Opponent still doesn't know that I am Max Steel. So I will erase the water power, so that might be helpful. Still want a Rock Slide, and I want to Expanding Force in the Primarina slot this time, just in case we get the Rillaboom switch in. That is quite probable. And that definitely seems like a great call out. Incineroar is like, hey, I can preserve my Intimidate. It is unfortunate though, because it does kind of leave this weird cat and mouse game of the opponent sees that I sent Tyranitar instead of Gastrodon, so they might be thinking, oh wait, you have Gastrodon. You know, you don't have Gastrodon. But again, they might overthink it and assume that I might have kept the Gastrodon in for later. Incineroar is going to switch out. We don't even see that Rillaboom come back out again. I am glad that I'm forced into the actual target of Primarina. I think that will be helpful in the long run. I can't flinch Primarina, unfortunately, but I can at least do something. So I do okay, and I hit Primarina again, which is good. And the Primarina is going to Max Geyser one more time. Fully going to be targeted. That was a lot of damage for sure. Not looking great on my end, but I can make this work. The opponent is being able to utilize much of the target, so we're going to get some health. I'm going to get some health back, so I've barely taken the damage from the Sandstorm. trouble is that I actually don't hit Incineroar that hard at all. So an Incineroar endgame is actually going to be pretty tough. I can't hit it with Expanding Force at all. So that is probably kind of like really bad news. But at least I can String Snap it and kind of wear it down with other moves like Nightshade. I mean, Mystical Fire does damage, which is fine. It's great. Thanks to my set boost that I was able to take that. Hit one more Expanding Force off, and I had to deal with a Max Badger, which is probably going to go after the... And a crit here, okay. There you go, they're just like, just to be sure, you ain't going to survive. I'll try to make it work. Yeah, I feel like having more than on the team is enough of a death for me to not use Gastrodon. But not using Gastrodon in this match was costly. Like, I could have, like, taken away at least one turn of Dynamax would have been enough to make things a little easier. So, we are going to have to come back. Most likely it is going to go ahead and just use the Hyper Voice, because why not? But I am going to String Snap this turn just to see if I can survive. But maybe disabling it will be enough. So we are going to see the Grass Eagle Eye. I disabled the Glass Eagle Eye, that's nice. And we're going to see the Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon. Okay, yeah, okay. Just to make sure. Alright, well, unfortunately, we lost that fight. So, playing that, I really do think that would have been a better fit. I didn't maximize my Dynamax as much. Knocking out Terrakion was nice at the beginning, but I didn't gain in the benefit of it, right? If I could have maximized more of that, then it would have been a much better slot. But unfortunate there, we just didn't get an opportunity to. So, 3 losses, but hey, 7 wins. That's impressive, I'll tell you that. Let's try to get to a total of 15 fights. I think I can do 15 fights, and then I might take a break from playing the Switch. You know, and kind of go off stream for a bit. Alright, so we have an interesting dynamic here. We do see Rillaboom and Togekiss, Cinderace, Sableye, Toxtricity, and Corviknight. So, I actually do like Gastrodon in this matchup. Not to absorb the water attacks, but more of to deal with like Toxtricity and Corviknight really well. I feel like Gastrodon does a really great job against them. Indeedee also helps kind of not worry about Sableye, and I feel like I could go with like a Togekiss individually, not really utilizing. Oh, you know what? I could probably do Togekiss Tyranitar, right? And then I'll have a different form of speed. And then from there, say like either Indeedee or Gastrodon at the end of it. Most likely, if the opponent leads off with Rillaboom, I will be very lucky and just switch into Indeedee from the Tyranitar slot, max Airstream it, and pick out a knockout. I have no idea what the opponent is going to choose. They took their sweet time, let me tell you. Alrighty, oh that's cool. He looks like Ash Ketchum here. Will he play as well as Ash? I don't know. Would Ash actually be a good Pokemon trainer in like competitive Pokemon? I don't think so, because competitive Pokemon actually requires you to sometimes like switch out some of your weaker Pokemon. Okay. I kind of don't want to Dynamax that one. I don't think so. I think what I want to do here is Dazzle and Gleam, and then I want to Rush Side. Just get some like double damage here. I would be surprised if the Togekiss Dynamax for now. It kind of would put me in a tough spot, but I can also. I mean, I could see Sableye trying to mess things up with a Quash or a 6. I think I could deal with it. I did not expect it. It is an interesting, but not an impossible. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like... Oh, you didn't even realize... Oh, poor baby. You didn't know that, crit on the Togekiss. I'll take that. You have a berry, that's fine. Oh my goodness, it's not, even close. I'll take that. 100%. Oh, poor baby. He didn't realize that Friendster doesn't work on this. And I get a crit on the Sableye. And a crit on the Togekiss. Oh! That's a harsh mechanic, I know. That's how they make this there. And we go with the air slide. Oh, that sucks. I think he's speed type. No. He's out of it. You might. Oh, you might still. Oh, that sucks. Okay, cool. Rillaboom's out. Rillaboom's probably gonna use Grassy Surge for a minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and max Airstream the Rillaboom slot. I'm just gonna go ahead and switch you out for MDD. Oh, poor baby. Oh, that sucks. He did not realize that Prankster does not work. That sucks. I didn't even need him to do that. Mechanics, things like that hurt because that's like, you can lose games based on that. Because you waste a full turn. Like, the Sableye did nothing. Right? That's a Pokemon down, he's naturally down 3-0. I'm gonna use it now. Finish it off quick. I don't need to deal with it. And Toby was probably gonna just be knocked out. Two after this. I don't know. I think if I read this team, Togekiss protects, perfect. I'm not sure about you. Probably use Grassy Slide. Grassy Glide, yeah. Oh, yeah, actually. I'll do my Togekiss. Speed boost. I should be able to knock you out. Yeah, I know. This is knocked out. And then, what do you have left? Cinderace. Cool. While we Dynamax it, just going to go ahead and max Airstream it. Use Expanding Force to knock out Rillaboom. And I will get to do some good damage. Even if you do max, it would be max Steel Spike. Actually, that could cause some problems. Because if you max Steel Spike and knock out my Togekiss, let's play this out. Knock out my Togekiss with max Steel Spike. Right? What I would then have to do is then redirect. But I don't know. I mean, you can do a lot of things. So I would have to redirect your Immunity, therefore making it a lot harder. Not a lot harder, but a little bit harder to use. So we are going to see the Dynamax but I well, then the game so Cinderace outspeeds. Who does Cinderace target? Oh. If you knock out that'd be a whole different ball game. But the speed boost here doesn't mean anything. Yeah, Life Orb, because I already outspeed Rillaboom, I knocked it out. And I get to free max Airstream. But this one, all we're doing is free max Airstream. Yeah, okay. Good luck. Oh man, that stinks. Yeah, that first early was all I needed, and that turned the tide of the battle. And now you know, Andres, you learned the hard way. It's funny enough, earlier today I was watching a movie, not a movie, I was watching a couple battles from Aaron Zhang. I was going to say his younger brother's name. Battles from Aaron Zhang, and he actually mentioned in the previous episode that he had, oh man, I totally forgot about Prankster not working on dark types. And I was like, hey, it happens, so I've been there before, but always important to keep those in mind and kind of refresh yourself on those mechanics. Super helpful, especially if you go into like official competitions. That's the time you don't want to make those mistakes. So battle fatigue is a real thing, so just be mindful of that going in. So we're going to fight Justin. Justin has a pretty interesting team. He has an Urshifu. First time we found an Urshifu today. Urshifu is pretty strong and scary, but also known to have very weak special defense, making it great prey for Togekiss. Togekiss is great on everything except for Dragonzolt. So if I can find a way to deal with Dragonzolt early, I should have an advantage here. I don't like Indeedee as much, because I don't know what type of Urshifu it is. I do like it against Amoonguss, but I feel I can do other things with Amoonguss. So I kind of like... Actually, you know what? I do like the extra Togekiss lead, and then switching out into Tyranitar to knock out things. And then Gastrodon, for sure. Yeah, I do like Gastrodon at the end of it. I can actually switch into Gastrodon depending on what the opponent throws out, too. So, I do like that. It will be the delay of the speed. Technically, I could have had Tyranitar come out earlier, but I also want to be mindful that Urshifu's already out of the lead, and thus forced me to switch out anyway. So. Okay, so we are going to get the Urshifu Amoonguss, and it is the water Urshifu, so that's nice to know. I do get Togekiss and so kind of looking at this, the opponent will most likely use Rage Powder, and then try to use Urshifu, either switch out Urshifu or stay in. I don't think he would want to stay in, but what I can do... Yeah, I feel like I can do that. I will Iron Head the Amoonguss, and then I'm going to go ahead and just Airstream the Urshifu slot. Because Urshifu could stay in. Okay, so you decide to stay in. Alright, I hope you know what you're about to do by staying in. It is not a good thing for you to stay in. Because, either I'll knock you out or the next turn I'll just deal with it. Urshifu actually detects, but I will power through that. I will Iron Head here. And I will max Airstream through your detect. Yeah, correct. We all get the speed boost. Who gonna prick the You flinched. That's even worse. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead then and switch into Gastrodon because Urshifu does not want. Will probably use a water attack anyways, and I'll just max Airstream the Amoonguss. Man, that was everything I wanted on that turn. The crit. Urshifu didn't do anything. The flinch on Amoonguss. You intro. I think this is actually the event Amoonguss, if I'm not mistaken. Which means that you've already burned through your Focus Sash. If you just kept it as is. Switching the Gastrodon allows me to say like, hey, I'll deal with your Surging Strikes later. Once Urshifu's out, and I get a special attack boost, then that's pretty much it. Excadrill is going to switch out. I don't save you anymore. I got Gastrodon in the fray. Amoonguss goes for the Rage Powder, which fine by me. And I get the Surging. Yeah! I'm telling you, I knew this. Oh, that was great, and I will take that. Use that max Airstream. He is banking too much on his Urshifu. That happens sometimes. People bank on too much on their bigger hitters. And, you know, you put them in a bind where they can't hit big, and bada bing, bada boom. I get a speed boost on Gastrodon. Doesn't mean anything, but the speed boost that Togekiss does. And that will be enough to knock out Amoonguss. One of the bigger threats in this team. I don't think he has any other grass types, so cool. Amoonguss can run away with this if he wants to. Alright, Porygon Z is going to be sent out, and Porygon Z is the best Pokemon that I should be targeting down, so I am going to do that with an Earth Power and a Max Airstream into that Porygon Z slot. Urshifu at this point doesn't actually scare me as much. Main thing here is that Urshifu would have to use like either a Steel move or something like that if you really want to make it damage. Yeah, Porygon Z that's Airstream, I should outspeed it. I also locked Urshifu out of its water type moves, so we'll have to see. Yep, I don't care. I figured you were gonna do something like that, so I'm just gonna hit you as hard as I can, hit you Porygon Z as hard as I can. If I get off the Airstream, most likely because Porygon Z is Dynamax. We are going to see that Max Strike. That's going to hurt. Who's going after Gastrodon? Oh, jeez, that was a knockout. That and Porygon Z will lose some of his HP. However, I am at +3. So, I don't think that this is as scary as you would think it would be. Because while that wasn't really something probably based off of Hyper Beam, the thing about that Max Strike here now is that Iron Block Shadow. Right, so there's two things that Urshifu can. You would have basically Urshifu is put in a place where he has to Aqua Jet to do anything worthwhile. Because I'm going to Dazzling Gleam, outspeed it, and I'll just knock it out. And if he says, hey, am I going to outspeed your Tyranitar? Because he doesn't know I'm Choice Scarfed. He's not. So Urshifu is going to switch out, and a pretty good call there. I respect that. But here's the thing. I hit the button of Dazzling Gleam. So, that's actually going to hurt your Dragozoa a lot. I actually knocked it out. That's great. Crit on that Porygon Z. And a crit on the Dragozoa. Man, I couldn't have not asked for a better turn there. Porygon Z probably is going to use Max... Oh, I get the cheapest power first. And I knock out Porygon Z. Look at all that. Everything I wanted in that turn. That was awesome. Because he didn't realize I was Choice Scarf. And that's enough to knock it out. Ooh, baby. Let's go. Let's go. I told you guys at the Pokemon selection screen. Urshifu is known for terrible special defense. And I exploited that. Alright, Urshifu is back up, but I don't really care. I'm going to go ahead and switch out Tyranitar for Excadrill here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and use Dazzling Gleam. Gastrodon did its job by just absorbing that one Surging Strike. And yeah, that's it. Because you can detect all you want, but then I'll Dazzling Gleam the next turn. I'll see Togekiss. My goodness, has been winning so many battles. I can definitely see why people are like, oh, I hate dealing with Togekiss in this format. It's really great. Oh yeah, by the way, I've been giving away GPs. I haven't even said that in this entire stream. If you guys want a GP, let me know. Feel free to take one. Man, look at that. Yes. Only 3 losses. Man, we're doing great. Look at that. Look at this. We are doing an amazing job in these battles. I am super excited. This has been fun. It's awesome. Alright. Opponent has been found against Danny. Danny, what you rocking? Danny is rocking a very interesting Pokemon with his Palossand. Now, Palossand is interesting because with what could happen here. And here's how I see it happening. Palossand ups its defense thanks to Sand Compaction. Palossand then Dynamaxes and gets a Weakness Policy boost. So Palossand is the Weakness Policy Pokemon. With that, knocking out Palossand early is going to be helpful. Most likely the Surface coming from Melodic to activate it. Gastrodon also proves to be very helpful here. I honestly feel like yeah, I kind of feel like the last kind of leads were helpful here. So, kind of like Togekiss Excadrill or Togekiss Tyranitar? Yeah, Togekiss, it was, because I used Iron Head there. Yeah, and then I'll do Excadrill. Yeah, It's a little bit different because of what will happen, but I think that with these we can make it work. One thing we do have to be mindful of is Alolan Raichu does hit Togekiss hard with those electric attacks, but I think we can power through that. We can work around that. I think being able to hit. Yeah, I don't like Palossand against, because that, but it is slower, so you have to worry about that. We'll figure it out, because I feel like what's going to happen here. Melodic and Raichu. Oh, Living Legend! I love that. Yes! That is one of my favorite callouts. We're going to have Togekiss and Tyranitar versus Alolan Raichu and Melodic. Raichu does have crit out. It has Nuzzle as well. I feel like I can get some chip here, and then, yeah, I guess I'll do the double hit. Let's see what happens. I feel like I'm walking into a Nuzzle, though. So, I'm glad I'm not going to Dynamax now, because it might be a better target for this Dynamax. And the Raichu's actually going to switch out, which is very nice. And we are going to have Indeedee come in, which also is nice. Well, I mean, I'm going to get a free hit on it, making it easier to deal with. We don't see any. Oh, yeah, that was great. Was that crit? Okay, I'll take that. I'm knocking out Indeedee early. We are going to see the Muddy Water, which kind of indicates I got ooh, I just. No, that's exactly what I didn't want to happen. So Melodic. Well, Indeedee will be knocked out thanks to the Sandstorm. So I will take that for sure. Melodic activates the berry and citrus here. And Togekiss will be taking a little bit of damage. And I can match by this. Okay. So, good things that I saw all around while knocking out that Indeedee was great. Okay, so we are going to see the Palossand. It does come out and look. I like the black sand. It looks tight. So here's the tricky part. Palossand is probably going to go ahead and Dynamax, activate that. So I am going to Rock Slide again. Hopefully the Rock Slide might be able to flinch Melodic. If not, then Gastron get special attack. Melodic will most likely use that's cool because it doesn't float, so it's like a that is the coolest Dynamax ever. So I get the Rock Slide off, I do some good damage. Crit on the Palossand. Muddy Water comes out. I take this with Storm Drain, and I don't think I absorbed the entire hit. Yeah, I still have to take something with and we're going to see a Max Quake come out. So in this case, I think what I want to do is, I definitely want to knock out the Milotic, so I'm going to double target the Milotic slot, and I'm going to use Max Quake, just to kind of really buff up my special defense here. Most likely, we are going to see Palossand extra build slot, but with the focus down, and then I can knock it. Which is perfect. I just don't want perfect. Making it easier for Gastrodon to deal with Alolan Raichu as well. And I'll get some chip damage off here with that versatility. We are going to see the Max Quake. Into the Gastrodon. Well, this is nice because Raichu can't fake out, thanks to Psychic Terrain up. So I probably could just knock out Raichu and be done with it. And then I'll go ahead and recover with Gastrodon in case I took up a little bit too much more damage than I wanted to. First time we get to use Recover in the stream, which is interesting. Your Recover used to be a go-to for the longest time, but I guess the faster pace of the games haven't really lend itself to that. And I think, too, like, there are a lot more options to it. Now, no good fast at all, but even if so, the Sandstorm would have been the Sandstorm damage would be enough to do that. Actually, I don't know if it's... And I get to use Recover. Man, look at that. Ooh, that feels great. The Palossand goes for one more Max Quake. Oh, I think that's just phenomenal. Yeah, losing that NDD so early on was unfortunate, but I mean, it really paid off. The crit didn't make as big of a deal. I don't want to use Scald in case you have a weakness policy. The crit didn't make as big of a deal because the Sandstorm, I think that with Rock Slide and Dazzling Gleam hitting, it would have been. Anyway, we're able to get a lot of Palossand, boosting up our special defense like crazy, and then Earth Power will be enough to knock it out. I just didn't want to risk any weakness policy activation. There you go! And the crit at the end, just a little icing on the cake there. Alrighty, I do have to go to the restroom after we end this battle, so once this is done, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick commercial break, and I'll see you guys in a second. But yeah, that was awesome. That was a great fight. Alright, we'll hit continue in a second. I'll see you guys in a moment. Thank you guys for your patience. What is up, everybody? We are back. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Alrighty, let's continue battling. So I'm curious to see who we got up next. Wow, there you go, 13 battles, only 3 losses, so man, 10 wins. We're looking great today. We have that 1596. Let's see, against Watson. Oh, the electric type gym leader from Hoenn. But Watson is not using that. He instead is utilizing some interesting Pokemon. We have Venusaur, Torkoal, Urshifu, Togekiss, Tyranitar, and Gothitelle. Something that's interesting about this team is that it doesn't really have terrain control. However, Gothitelle does something really devious with that Shadow Tag ability, making it harder to switch into things, and thus helping eradicate weather or things like that. So, for instance, that's the hard thing too, because, like, for instance, Venusaur would have to... Because it would be harder, because what would happen here is that Venusaur sets up, it's Venusaur and Torkoal, right? And so if that's the case, then you can switch in at first to kind of cut out the weather. So with that, I definitely don't feel Gastron is helpful. But I do feel that Togekiss will be very helpful. Togekiss becoming helpful is going to depend on a couple of things at first. Corsola is not as helpful. So I think that I kind of actually do want to lead Excadrill Indeedee. And then if the opponent has Gothitelle, well, then we can work with that. We can work around that. Expanding Force can help deal with the Venusaur besides Gothitelle. Yeah, I'm kind of going back on this team. I do like Psychic Seed, but the safety goggles really does help against Venusaur. But if it is Venusaur Torkoal, then we're in a great place. Okay, so it's actually going to be Venusaur versus Excadrill and Indeedee here. So, I don't know. I feel like what we're going to see is maybe Venusaur is going to target down the Excadrill slot. In which case, we could probably work around that and kind of deal with it. The Psychic Surge is going to hurt hard, so hopefully we can switch into Togekiss here and then hit with Expanding Force to make it harder for Venusaur to work around this. Next thing here too is this covers the Follow Me play. The one thing that I don't get to cover is Safety Goggles. And so Sleep Powder is the one thing I don't get to cover, so... yeah, in this scenario, Safety Goggles would have been a much better item. Guaranteed I won't have to worry about going to sleep here. Venusaur is automatically going to Dynamax, so I am glad, like, one of the Pokemon, the Togekiss, it introduces some complexity. Okay, Venusaur. Actually helps follow up. Don't have to worry about we are going to see the max that actually is going to not be great. Togekiss actually is going to hit a little bit harder now. Togekiss does go for the Air Slash on the Indeedee slot, so double up is not pretty. We are going to get the Expanding Force, which is awesome. And a critical hit on that Togekiss. You're not even Togekiss. Why are you getting the crits? But now, thanks to that, I am going to start firing off those max Airstreams. I am going to try to knock out this Venus. You know what? Yeah, I am going to... No. I'm going to max Airstream and knock out the Togekiss. Then, the following turn, I will try to knock out the Venusaur. It is very much possible that Venusaur will utilize Max Guard. There's just a feeling that Venusaur could try Max Guard. So I don't want to fall into that trap yet. I do want to hit this Venusaur after I get a speed boost in. Right now, it doesn't make sense to go after him with that. Too easy. We need to this also kind of techs in case Torkoal comes out. Actually, I did plan on doing this anyway, which is funny. I think we're gonna be trading Follow Me Pokemon. Okay, Venusaur will lose some HP with that Life Orb, which is helpful. We are going to get this Max Energy team out on the Pokemon Flash. There is enough to knock out the Trigger, and hopefully we can use that to our advantage in the long run. So Togekiss is knocked out. We are at +1 speed. Venusaur will most likely cannot Torkoal if he has Torkoal. The only other thing is he sends out Gothitelle, and then he sends out Torkoal, which I cannot counter. Which would be a big brain move, which can happen. I'm really... that's a good one. Dude, I will clap right now if that's the case. Oh, it's automatic too. Yeah, I feel like Venusaur is not a threat. I want to just knock out Ursa. Okay, you're gonna rip. Ah, so that's the big boy play. Okay. This actually is not that scary though, because what's going to happen here is that Venusaur has to target. Oh, that's. You only have +1, dude. I'll be okay. Because here's the thing. That's a max airstream. That's gonna hurt. Oh, I already knocked you out. Yeah, with the crit. Awesome. Way too much damage already. The tip from... The only way that Urshifu can come back from this is he outspeeds with, right now because of the jump. But I can easily turn that off. But Urshifu can come back if he outspeeds and then uses Aqua Jet, and that's enough to knock me out. But here's the thing, like so I switch out, I get my Sandstorm, I cut your speed boost, I'm gonna fire off another max airstream, and I should be able to. Yeah, I really don't think you can win this. Because, yeah, okay, well done. That's it. You can do focus that, it doesn't matter, because the Sandstorm can knock you out. With the crit, there you go. Awesome, so Urshifu means nothing. I naturally outspeed with Extra Drill. And there you are. Venusaur can knock me out with Sludge Bomb, but at this point, it's a moot point. Okay, you got Togekiss. Togekiss did its job. Alright. Oh yeah, you lost because of Life Orb. Yay! Done. That's it. We were able to deal with Urshifu without using Gastrodon. That was awesome. That was a great match. I'm trying to think, was there anything else unique? No, because he just Dynamaxed early. And so because he Dynamaxed early, I was able to get Togekiss in, pivoted in, and then I just went home. You know, just direct shot. Indeed's, I think the Expanding Force did a lot of damage. That really was helpful at the beginning. And why Indeedee is a great Pokemon. That natural defensive stat she has is augmented by the Psychic Surge terrain that offensive that she gets too. So yeah, let's go ahead and continue battling. How many more battles we got? Oh, I think this is going to be the last one, guys. Last one before we go ahead and call it for now. I'll probably stream later today. It's been about 2 hours though, so about 2 hours and 2.5 hours. So Time flies when you're having fun. Anyway, Zara is up, and Zara has an interesting... Aha, I know what this is about. We have the Weavile, we have the Amoonguss, the Dragozolt, the Talonflame, and the Primarina. And looking at this, there isn't really much they can do against Excadrill Tyranitar lead. And I feel like that's going to be very helpful. So I feel like I'm going to go with that. Have Indeedee in the back to kind of deal with things. And I don't think Togekiss is as helpful as Gastrodon. The only Pokemon that I have to worry about with Gastrodon is Amoonguss. But if Amoonguss doesn't carry any grass moves, which a lot of Amoongusses actually don't, we should be in a good spot here. So, yeah. I think also, too, of like with Weavile and Terrakion, Weavile might try to fake out one of my Pokemon, and then I can take that opportunity to be like, nope, I will send in Indeedee, and then knock out Weavile, or I'll figure something. Probably what I would do is I would send in Indeedee, knock out Weavile, send in, because Sandstorm would be enough to knock it out if I get it down to its Focus Sash. And then, yeah, double up on the Terrakion side next turn, if it be like that way. So we are going to see the Dragozolt. Works in my favor. I already threatened Dragozolt easily, and I will outspeed it next turn. So I'm going to go ahead and just Max Quake the Dragozolt spot. Rock Slide, because there'll be enough to knock out something. I will probably expect a Tailwind, but Excadrill should outspeed. Dragozolt actually will be very... That is... so both Dragovish and Dragozolt, their ability is Sand Rush, making them definitely near Sand Rush Pokemon. I would be surprised if you that. Don't really have much to fear here if the opponent decided not to switch out. Oh, if the opponent decided to Dynamax to itself, I'm probably going to Dynamax to Dragozolt. Thing here is, do I get the one hit? And also, so we are going to get that Tailwind up as expected. I get the Max Quake off. Knocking out exactly what here. Weakness policy, or is it like... We're going to see the Max Flare. This is actually good. Hey, Noir Gamer, what is up? Thank you. I'm glad to see you return. Man, battling's been going great. We have only lost a total of 3 battles since we first started, out of 14. And, well, there you go. We knocked out, and this battle is off to a great start. We have knocked out both Dragozolt in one go. So it's been awesome. We've really been able to kind of capitalize on the metagame trends and make that work for us. We are climbing that ladder. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're climbing that ladder. We have gotten some great results here. So we are going to see Terrakion come out, and we're going to have Weavile too. So Weavile coming out. Oh, I know what we can expect here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and Max Guard, and I'm going to bring in Tyranitar later in the game. I also think that Indeedee would be a great option here. Oh, thank you so much for calling that out, man. I apologize for the game volume being loud. Thank you. Feedback like that is super helpful as we develop and get better at this. So, let me ask, is the game volume better now? I'm talking. We got Indeedee out here using that Psychic Surge. Also, let me know about the music as well. The music is loud. I definitely want to cut that down too. First time trying out the stream format with music as well, so it's super helpful to hear your take here. So we are going to see the fake out that protects Excadrill. I'm glad I went that route. And we're going to see the close combat. Indeedee is almost... ooh, that was a critical hit there. Big damage. So I think here I just want to make sure that I switch out Perfect. Awesome. Thank you very much for that feedback. I think what happened here is that with the Hapag, whatchamacallit, whenever Dynamax happens in Pokemon, it becomes really loud, and so that's probably why. So I probably should account for Dynamax happening quite often. So I'll keep it down, but thank you for that feedback. We're going to have Tyranitar come back in here. That will bring up the speed boost, and hopefully I'll be able to outspeed Terrakion here. Terrakion actually gets off the close combat against them as well. Unfortunate there. But honestly, I don't know if it helps. Because Terrakion at -2 now is worried by my next move. We are going to see the triple axle. That actually is going to hurt. Ooh! Yo! Weavile dancing on ice. Okay, so any focus sets that Weavile has, though, is broken. I feel like at this point I want to bring back Indeedee. I could use Follow Me, and then knock out Terrakion for sure. So I'm going to do that, use that Follow Me, and then I am going to use that Superpower against Terrakion. Weavile versus Moongus, Weavile versus Gastrodon. I appreciate it. Yeah, we try to learn things and get better at it, but feedback always helps there. But yeah, no. So Weavile against Gastrodon, I feel confident against Gastrodon cases here. We are going to see the beat up come out on my own Tyranitar, which actually is very weak. I guess because he was going to target the perfect. We knocked out the Terrakion. But my assumption there was he was targeting the Indeedee, in which case I guess Triple Axel would have been better, but he didn't want to risk the accuracy drop, and so that's probably the reason why behind that. Here we're going to go ahead and send in Gastrodon. It's pretty much game, set, and match. Fighting is 4 times effective against Weavile, and Weavile has nothing that it can really do against Gastrodon. So go ahead and hit Scald, hit that superpower button, and that's pretty much game, set, and match. We're going to see that triple axle against Tyranitar, which will be enough to knock out Tyranitar, but like I said, it's an uphill battle against Gastrodon, and that's what's going to really make it hard for Weavile to do much. So Weavile does get buffeted by that Sandstorm. Let me see how many turns of Sandstorm do I have left. Okay, I got 2 more turns of Sandstorm. I feel like I could protect here. I think that's what the move is here. I'm going to do a little bit of a slower burn. I just want to wear down Weavile, making it a lot easier to deal with. So I protect here, not dealing with the triple axle. That move can definitely hurt and add up over time. And then I think Scald should be enough. Yeah, I feel like I can get Scald, maybe I'll get a burn off of here. And that might be enough. So, oh, I get lucky, I avoid the attack. That's great. That's awesome. Got that accuracy drop. Sandstorm's over, I don't get the burn. But yeah, that's okay. That's pretty much game, set, and match. Weavile can't do anything. Triple Axel won't be enough to knock out. But it'll be a good hit, I think. Yeah, that was decent. Ooh, that actually was decent. The third was a crit. Ooh. But I did have leftovers to help kind of wear that down to make it easier for me to survive hits. And we're good. Awesome. Man, look at that. That was a great match right there. And I am excited. We are doing great. I think we can get one more in. Let's get one more in before we end this part of the stream. And then later on today, I might come back in, maybe around 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock my time. But yeah, we're on a great streak so far. So let's go ahead and continue battling. Huge shout out to Neuron Gamer for the feedback on the sound. Super helpful to note what's loud, what's quiet, especially now that we're playing with the music in the back. And let me know what you guys think about the music as well. Is it distracting? Is it fun? I thought it'd be kind of more fun to have a mix of sound rather than just like, oh, here's Mustard's theme over and over and over again. But anyways, here we have Corviknight, Clefairy, Incineroar, Excadrill, Primarina, and Dragozolt. So this is interesting in the sense of he doesn't have the Sandstorm, but he can use the Sandstorm to his advantage. I don't like Dragonzolt, but I do like Gastrodon in terms of his ability to deal with Dragonzolt. And Indeedee. I think this is what I'm going to do. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it, man. Yeah, I wanted to kind of bring something more fun to the table, so glad that the music has been fun, and you've been enjoying it. Yeah, I think that what I want to do here is bring an Excadrill, Togekiss, and then having Tyranitar in the back if I need it. I do like Gastrodon. I feel like Gastrodon can help. Scalds can help and things like that. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And if it's like Primarina, Dragonbolt, for instance, we can kind of change up the lead of the switch-ins and things like that, depending. So yeah, let's see what our good friend Manuel is gonna throw at us. Alrighty, so we are actually going to see the Dragonzolt, and it is Dragonzolt and Corviknight, and I will have Togekiss and Excadrill here. So luckily he didn't leave with Excadrill, which is perfect. That gives Togekiss just enough to go ahead and switch into his Tyranitar to activate that speed. And I will go ahead... Yeah, I kind of want that knockout for sure, so I'm going to go ahead and Max Quake this Dragonzolt. I feel like speed in the long run isn't needed, just because the opponent themselves don't have really big speed control besides Corviknight with Tailwind. In that case, it really doesn't make a big difference. The Pokemon, by the time I knock out Dragonzolt, his biggest speed Pokemon, he doesn't really have much speed against. Let's get a good knockout here, and use this to our advantage with a good, strong Max Quake. So we actually are going to see just a vanilla Volkey coming out, which, okay, I'll take that. So that puts me at a decent advantage here. Dragonzolt is knocked out right there. I get a special defense boost, which it might be helpful in the long run. And we are going to see Tailwind come out, but a little bit too late here. Like I said, that was just unfortunate there. I already got the speed boost here, and I kind of maximized that. Now, if he has his own Excadrill, that might be a different story. That Excadrill will outspeed mine, but I can use that to my advantage and switch back out into Togekiss and try to knock out his Excadrill on time. Yep, so he sends out his own Excadrill. Nice thing here is that because his Excadrill... Oh, it's actually Mold Breaker. So, probably ties in speed now because it's Mold Breaker. But Excadrill probably will be targeting down Tyranitar, so I can just Max Quake the opposing Excadrill again. Hopeful that I can knock this out in one go. If he targets my Excadrill, I'm Focus Sash, and I can use that to my advantage as well. I probably will be knocked out if it was a double target into the Excadrill slot. Not a big deal here. I can work with that. So I'll bring that Proxy a little bit lower. It sounds a little bit lower. So we are going to see the Dynamax here, as expected. Yeah, curious to see what Pokemon how Excadrill is going to work out here. Oh, it's actually Corviknight. Interesting choice for a Dynamax Pokemon. Corviknight might be trying to fire off some Tailwinds. Maybe it's going to fire up its own Max Steel Spike. We are going to see Earthquake, but Earthquake doesn't do anything, really, against what I switched into, and I still will be able to pick up this knockout against the Excadrill, if Excadrill does not have a Focus Sash at the time. It does have a Focus Sash on its own, so we found that out. We are going to see a Max Airstream coming out into my own Excadrill slot. I am curious of what I can do here, because I cannot. If I get this Excadrill knockout, that will be very helpful. But I don't want to sacrifice a lot of Pokemon to get there. So Togekiss will underspeed Corviknight. I can't get Chip to knock it out. And use Gastrodon as kind of a buffer for now. Airstream, they're going to trade off too much. Okay, I gotta make a decision. I'm going to try this. I'm going to Dazzling Gleam, and I'm going to Max Guard in anticipation for Excadrill to try to Earthquake. Dang it. Excadrill went for a high Iron Head. Did we see a Max Airstream into my own Excadrill? Run it for the Togekiss. A waste of a turn if I... yeah. I guess he figured out he didn't really need my Excadrill anymore. The double Tailwind is going to be a tough one. I think I'm going to have to go with Gastrodon in this case. Gastrodon is pretty slow anyway, so the speed won't make a difference here. I already max guarded. If I did attack, that would have been enough. But I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Earth Power now. Or I'm going to Stone. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'll Iron Head just for accuracy. Alright, sounds good, man. So we are going to see the Earthquake that will hit both Pokemon. That'll be enough to knock out Excadrill. That also puts us in a bind because Corviknight can come in here and gonna Max Airstream again. That just is gonna... Yeah, the only Max Airstream back to back. But this is the last turn for Dynamax for Corviknight, so I'm fortunate for that. I'm very thankful for that. We are able to knock out this Excadrill. So the question here is it a favorable matchup for Tyranitar as well? Tyranitar's at full health. And so I'm hopeful that the favorable matchup for Tyranitar will be enough for me to maximize. Okay, so Tailwind's over, so it's only Corviknight that will outspeed. So I can use that to my advantage. If I cover with Gastrodon and knock out the next one. Oh, Primarina. That's not great. Primarina is going to be a great Pokemon. Alrighty, so I think the thing that I want to do here is definitely recover with Gastrodon. And I definitely want to, I mean, if I get lucky with a flinch on Primarina, I think I just need like a few turns of this. I can make this happen. Alright, Corviknight is going to activate that Tailwind immediately afterwards, so that +3 in the speed was a really great choice there. Luckily though, I do outspeed Primarina even with the choice, with the... Yes, and the flinch, exactly, that's the turn I wanted! Yes! Oh my goodness, I got so lucky with that. You have no idea. That was clutch, an amazing turn. And the fact that I outspeed thanks to that choice scarf. I'm very fortunate about that. I am very, very thankful for that. I think what I want to do now is heavily knock out this Primarina to make it easier for Tyranitar in the long run. And then I can try to focus on this Corviknight. The Tailwind move was kind of a waste because Corviknight doesn't get any benefit from it. Yes! Corviknight probably is going to use something like Brave Bird. If it has Iron Defense, then it's Body Press. So it is Iron Head. It is going to hit that Gastrodon shot. Not very effective. I do get the Rock Slide. Oh no, Energy Ball! Ooh, that might be it. That might be it, actually. Because all Corviknight needs to do here is... Iron Head might be enough to knock me out. And the flinches, yeah, this is gonna be tough. Because Corviknight will probably use Iron Head. Yeah. So it didn't have Body Press. I'm not hoping that it's gonna have to survive. I get a crit on Corviknight. Well, I knocked out Primarina. Okay. So here's the deal. He gets a low roll on the Iron Head, and I win. Ah, it was close. Good match, good match. Alright. Bummed that we will end the first part of the stream on a loss, but I am thrilled that we had a chance to really have a great time playing. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I am going to take a quick break. I'll probably jump back in, like I said, around 4 my time. Actually, it is 4 my time. Probably around 6 my time. Play it a little bit more. Actually, before I leave, those in the stream, we have hit a huge milestone. Look at that. Our playtime is over 500. We did it. That's awesome. So let's go ahead and save here. And thank you again for tuning in. I'm so excited about this new format. I'm thankful for the feedback as far as the sound of the game. Most likely, Dynamax, man. It's a loud mechanic. But I'll see you guys in a bit. Thank you again for tuning in. And I'm so excited to keep on climbing the ranks. 4 losses in 16 battles? That's awesome. So let's keep at it. I'll see you guys later. Peace.